Horchata. We are here. Hello, everybody. Hello, Broken of Chains. Hello, Kevin. And then I saw the Solar Bear popped in here first, like way early on. So, hello to everybody. Welcome to Tuesday night, where we play D&D and stuff, and do things. All the things.
Is that what we're doing tonight?
And stuff.
Oh
and
no,
stuff and stuff.
and stuff and things. Oh yes, I understand. I closed it. I closed it for a reason.
Are you sure you want to close this app and make changes to your computer?
Well, Father Sepulcher. Yeah, it's fine. It's like, yes, do not show me again. I understand that I closed the dockable thing. Okay,
You want to start a localized fire.
Team here from Vancouver. Well, hello, Vancouver. Hello, Vancouver. Welcome to here, where we are, in this place, amongst everywhere else, or whatever. All right. Anyway, getting us started. Thanks for everybody who hung out with us last night during the Kids on Bikes finale. It was great to see everybody. Had a great time. I'm glad everybody lived. I knew you guys would. I knew you guys would pull through. That was just, you guys had everything. Hey, speaking of Kids on Bikes, there's Trevor. Good to see you, Trevor. Thank you. Here is good with good people. Exactly. Good people. That's good people's always win, right?
No.
No. No. Yep. Wrong stream. Aw. Don't know. All right. Well, don't think I had too much in the way of announcements. No. Don't forget that to this Friday, once again, Ardrin, our dear beloved Ardrin, is going to be over there in Clickety Clackety representing us in Eberron. So, do us proud, son.
I don't do you proud here. Why would you expect that anywhere else?
I don't know. Here I understand. You just got to make sure that you're behaving out there. I think that's how that works. Maybe not. I don't know.
Also not going to happen, I'm sure.
also not gonna happen.
Josie Kindred's character sheet profile picture update.
No. They took off the thing where you used to be able to see our characters on the sides.
Oh no, what happened to that?
I don't know. They took it off I want to say almost like a year ago, and I was very sad because it was kind of a cool feature, but such is life. Right, stream the fish swims
like a replacement app thingy.
Not yet. Who knows what randomness will aspire, whatever. All right, I think that about covers it as far as announcements goes, so we'll go ahead and jump into the intro and get started with tonight's madness. So here we go. Wee-oo! Huzzah! Okay, let us get this party started a little bit.
Let's get it started. Ha.
Yeah, that one. Don't put that song in our head now. Yeah, all of the songs stuck in our heads. Okay.
Running, running, and running, running.
How surprising. Though outnumbered in the fight, the brigade managed to pull out of it victorious after all. If perhaps a little shaken at the vileness of their enemies. The sights and smells will no doubt linger in their minds for a while yet, I would imagine. The boy Max managed to keep his protector at bay, at least from being completely possessed by him, though he claimed he was still unable to do so fully. Soul was a boon of health to those who had suffered grievous wounds, and the combined celestial might of Vernon's lightning and Galil's piercing radiance seemed to be exactly what was needed to end the large beasts at the end. Still, there was much left unanswered. As they finish up the last remaining chunks of enemies and give them over to the flame, a small group is noticed coming their way from the city. The Queen and her escorts, it seems. They are most eager to see the completion of this bridge so that the delivery of goods for the sacrifice might be made, hoping it will abate whatever curse has been placed on the dead here within these lands. As the elf kindred barely manages to keep his nervous heart from bursting through his chest, the Queen seems unfazed and does not seem to recognize the people who killed her once before. But then, such incidents can be life-changing. Minds are such a fragile thing. You never know what they'll forget, or what they'll remember. So,
Did we just tap into Forrest Gump?
Forrest Gump?
Mama always said,
Charity is like a box of chocolate.
you never know what you're gonna get.
Oh, I get it. All right. So, let's see here. The Queen Nara stands there beside you, Kindred, as I believe. I'm trying to remember now. You were on the way over, right, Alwyn?
I was
Yes.
like about to land when you said we'll continue next week.
All right, fair. All right, so as you do come in for a landing, what are you doing?
Hello, Your Highness. Is there something you need help with?
Yep, she needs instructions on what we're gonna need, and I'd figure y'all got it. They call me inside, and I book it.
Power walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Mall
Keep my heart
walker.
rate at so many beats per minute.
Just keep moving.
I very quickly ping Iskra. Kindred seems kind of nervous. I think maybe you should take advantage of that for once. Just don't worry about it.
All right.
Okay. So
Perhaps you can better explain what he meant. I'm not sure I understood the question.
She
Let's
comes
know
over.
what supplies we need.
You already ran away. Shut up.
I can shout and yell. I message.
She comes over to you, Renata, gets a little closer, and now seeing this entourage here, you see the two soldiers with her. You see the elder red wizard type person that stands with her as well, and she's also wearing. I think I described it last time. She's wearing those red robes that look like they've been royally bedazzled, if you will. She comes over and leans in. She says, Is he all right? He seems awfully nervous about something.
Oh, no, it's just chronic anxiety. He doesn't have everything going on correct up here. It's rather quite sad.
No, that's so unfortunate. You know,
Yes.
once we have you guys back at the castle for the feast, once the sacrifice has been delivered, etc., I will have Barnaby prepare him a good mushroom soup. He's got these little mushrooms that just make you so relaxed. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure it would help calm his nerves.
Do you think it would help with the brain damage, though?
Probably not, but at least he would be calm, right?
That is true.
And a
I will
calm mage
certainly-
is way better than an anxious one, let me tell you.
Oh, very true, very true. So, out of character, did we see any of the supposed wagons out here?
No. What wagons?
You had said like unloading from the dinosaurs, and then wagons
that-
took them.
That's back at the troop that we left.
No. Yeah, the wagons that would be taking them over there, don't seem to be any things. So,
Okay.
It's just, yeah, because there was supposed to be like some sort of carts or wagons that would take it across the river. Yes.
So, as for what all we need, the first thing, of course, would be the form of payment for the caravan, as far as the exchange of goods that they usually obtain.
Of course.
And then, of course, I was told that there were to be wagons, none of which seem to still be here. So the wagons would be needed before the sacrifice could be taken across the river. So that would be another need.
Well, I'm afraid the wagons were used as fuel for fires. But we can definitely procure you some new wagons. Wouldn't take much, I wouldn't imagine. I think we could find some carriages or something within the city. Give us a few. Maybe by the end of the day, we'll have whatever wagons you need. I was more concerned with the rebuilding of the bridge. Do you think that you might be able to take care of that? We might be. As I was telling your friend, I have been dabbling in a little bit of conjuration and transmutation. Perhaps I can be of assistance. I don't know how much or how good I can promise to be.
Well, for starters, I do believe that the unfortunately brain-damaged friend that
I cast
walked
Mind Sliver
away.
on Renan from behind.
You're not within earshot at the moment. You're not there.
I
You
do,
already
as I'm
left.
walking away, I cast it on him.
You have already been gone for a while. You went inside with
Nope,
everybody
I'm
else.
watching because I'm like peeking around the corner.
Mm-hmm, sure.
Well, they are about 60 feet from the mill.
That's the
So
spell's range.
I would like you to make a perception check at disadvantage to see if you can hear what Renan is saying.
I'm on the roof. Can I hear him?
Probably not. I mean, they're not talking loud. This is not a.
I'm reading
like,
lips.
Well, you
I'm
can
facing
only
away
see,
from you?
I was gonna say you could only see the queens at the moment.
I'm reading body language from Renan.
That's not gonna tell you
disadvantage?
shit. Yes.
Billy was been checking it out.
I got a nat 20 and a 17, so a total of
So what? You
18,
see
19, 20, 21,
his
22, 23,
shoulders
24.
moving?
24.
between the wings?
I heard the comments on my way back, and yeah, so. Plus, there's more to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Renan, in any case, what were you gonna say?
He does have a particularly good time of using his spells, though. And he believes that he can construct a bridge, possibly even out of stone. And if he can do that, then we shouldn't have any need for the supplies, of course, for building it, but we should know for certain long before you would be able to return with the wagons, and if he is not able to produce a good enough bridge, then I can always fly back to the city to make certain that you are aware that we need more supplies to fix the bridge.
It sounds fair to me. How about I leave Master Brennel here? He's an absolute wizard at transmutation. If you need anything, I'm sure he'd be more than capable of assisting you in perhaps bringing in some of the wood. He knows a few handy little spells that might be of use. If that would be useful to you, if you believe that your friend has everything well in hand, then by all means, I will bring him back to the city with myself, and we can
This is
make
why I
sure
wanted to
that.
cast that.
I do believe that if we need his services, I for one have the strength that if he is okay with flying, of course, I could always bring him back. So I don't think he will be needed.
Excellent. Well, then we will put him to work in making sure that the carriages and wagons are ready to deliver the goods later on today. Thank you once again. Tell the rest of your, she gestures generally at the mill, companions, wherever they might seem to be scattered about, that we appreciate what they have done for our kingdom.
Of course, I will make certain that your message is received, Your Majesty.
She bows and kind of peeks over your shoulder at the mill and everything, and turns around with Master Brennel and the two guards and starts to walk back toward the city. Arjun, what were you gonna say?
I did want to get to her before she walked away. if
Okay,
possible.
sure. No, sure.
Since I was outside, I wasn't able to necessarily hear much of everything
Yeah.
until I started to walk a little closer. Could I have heard the bit about sacrifice?
Sure.
It's-
Yeah,
it
towards
has
the
been
end.
brought
At
up
the end.
before.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sorry, Your Highness. I'm part of the mercantile unit here. We were helping to facilitate the current solve being applied to the problem. I was just curious to further that. What is the sacrifice exactly? What is the nature, procedure? What would that all entail?
Oh, were you not informed? I'm so sorry. I'll make sure to speak to your betters on your behalf. They really should tell everybody what's going on. You are delivering goods, are you not?
Indeed.
Therein is the sacrifice. These things are offered up to the gods to continue on with their holy mission.
I mean, I understood a little bit of that part of it. It's more where and in what manner is it done. It sort of seemed like we were going to be spearheading the actual act of it on your behalf in this encounter.
Usually, when the caravan has come in the past, they take the wagons to the end of the trail there, and she gestures across the way, across the river into the woods. You see another little beaten path that goes into the woods. About, I don't know, a mile down that path, there is a spot where you can leave all of the wagons and the goods, and the attending priests will take care of it and send it on its way to its final destination. But honestly, all you need to do is take it to its intended destination. You need not watch the entire ritual if you do not desire. It has been known to be a little unnerving for some, but it's a simple means of transporting all of these goods to the gods to whomst they belong.
Is it inadvisable to watch the proceedings?
No, if you wish to watch, you are more than welcome, I am sure. I myself have never watched it. I've only heard from others.
Do I believe her on that, or is there some kind of,
Sure, make an insight check.
maybe not outright lie, but subterfuge going on there? Oh, not terrible. 19.
She 100% believes what she's telling you.
Fair enough. Oh, well, I appreciate you letting me get just a little bit of your time at the end. Thank you very much, Your Majesty.
Of course, dear. And she holds out her hand.
I will do the really gross thing of touching the hand and kissing, not the rings, but just soft touch. No tongue.
There is the moment whenever you kiss the flesh of her hand. The sensation on your lips and what you see there don't quite match up.
Do I see any recognition on her part?
None. It's just like completely as expected. But like what
no,
it looks like
I know that you know kind of thing. There's none of that transpires.
Nah. It looks like this really smooth, well lotioned skin, and then whatever you kiss is kind of dry on the inside,
Just
on the lips.
Crepe paper.
Yeah, don't trust anything from her.
I just sort of give the little bow and step back and let her be on her way.
And she walks off with guards in tow.
Turn and proceed back toward the
As y'all
mill.
are walking back, Ardrin, in your head, you hear, I'm telling Vienna about that later.
Do you hear this? Not so much a verbal response as much as just tired. Like if you could transfer the feeling of fatigue,
Like, fuck
that's
off.
all you get.
It's just a grumble.
Mhm. And then Renan,
But but with a drawl to it, you know.
With the drawl.
I'm
Mumbles
picturing
and
like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen when what's his name was like rawr. The portrait of Damien.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh God, it's been forever.
But then Renan, in your head, you hear, don't take any advice from her. You saw the memory. I don't want her anywhere near us, especially now that I'm in my old body. She brought up Verity. She's up to something. She knows it's us. She was not that playful.
To be quite honest, as far as we're starting to approach, to be
Oh
quite
yeah,
honest,
I'm like full on like
I'm-
messaging you as you're getting closer until we're like,
yeah. Once I get close enough to not shout, just because they're, only 120 feet that way now. But walking up,
I'm
I
gonna
believe-
wave Maxwell over if he didn't already go inside.
I believe there is an equal chance of one, you being correct, and two, that you are just being paranoid and she somehow has no idea.
Khalil.
But I agree that I would rather be cautious and wrong
Got you
than
spooked.
be lax
She brought up Verity.
and die.
So she remembers.
And I'm gonna like mockingly like go up to Galil and like how she just be like, do you know a Verity? Oh, silly. Like, that's what she did. That's not Nara. This is a scheme.
I'm
And
just gonna walk
also,
up right now.
how convenient, and like looking, make sure they're like, how convenient is it that they show up right when we land the killing blow and destroy everything? That's when they decide to fucking show up?
Well, I believe that it was as we started to do cleanup stuff, we saw
yeah, but
the
after the-
lights
after the
leaving the
fight.
city.
Mhm.
Yeah, that means
After.
they were watching.
Kindred,
Hmm.
you're able to send a quick spell,
To who?
Vary, and see if she's okay.
Can't.
Why not?
As much as I hate to fucking admit it, I'm not that strong yet. I can't travel different planes, but
But just
Maybe
in case
tonight.
if she's on this one,
You should be capable of that, yes? Send
I can do things, but I might drive me insane, and you're already getting me there. But hold on.
I forgot that that's your sending spell phrase.
That would be a short trip.
Well,
Okay.
she went to the Fey realm last we heard of her.
Mhm. So I will cast sending just to, by the off chance she is on this plane of existence.
do you know if
assume we're all
Pegag or
coalesced at this
Orcor
point.
might have
Yeah, everyone's kind of all together.
kept in
Yeah.
contact with her?
I feel I'm casting. I can't stop it. Hey, we just ran into your old boss. She's just as fucking insane as ever. She brought you up. You haven't ran into her lately. It's Kindred.
There's
Your
a
call
moment
cannot
of
be completed as
there's a moment of silence,
Oh.
and then you get a reply.
Oh.
Kindred, it's been so long since I've heard from you. I just happened to be back for a little bit, but you saw Nara? She's a lich after all. Probably came back. Oh my god, what is the name of her freaking
Nissa.
Nissa?
Nissa.
I kept singing I love or whatever. Nissa says hello.
Y'all see me just like, I did it just to like more or less to appease y'all, and then like 5 minutes later I'm just like 1,000-yard stare, like holy shit. She responded. She said she just got back. Nessa says hi, Galil. But what the fuck is she doing on this plane? I mean, not that I'm upset, but
Can you keep contacting her, or
that is a lot of arcane.
Kindred.
that is
So,
why I'm asking.
Just so I'm on board and the audience is on board, who or what is the relationship between Verity, Nissa?
Side note, out of game. Verity was one of our pre-stream characters that her backstory was tied directly into the Liches, and Nara was her apprentice. So it was like the hand of the hate, the hand of one of the
Oh,
eight,
that's appropriate.
and has her disciple. Verity was Nara's disciple.
Okay.
And then things got hot. She had to like lay low and dipped out to the Fey realm, and that's the last we saw her.
So, Kindred, I have two questions, or rather a statement and a question. The first one being, what do you suggest that we do as far as precautions against if she is trying to trick us?
Let's just do our job and get the fuck out of here. I don't want to be around her.
I
So I was
understand that.
gonna. Sorry.
But as far as what we're doing at present, I was able to buy us at least the rest of the day before they would be able to marshal any wagons to bring. It was the only excuse I could think of. So during which time, while you're trying to fix all of this, as far as the job that we're supposed to be doing, some of us could go ahead and see what we could see.
Come here. I'm gonna like wave my hands and a minor illusion, like a full-on hologram, like topographical view of where the bridge was. And I'm like, okay, so we need to create the bridge. It needs to be yay wide and so long. And so I figure if y'all could just make some stable points along this way, that way they don't succumb to the water's flow. If y'all get those done, when I rest up, I can just wall of stone all the way across it and just it becomes permanent. But if we have the groundwork, once the stone's laid, it sets, bridge. Simple, easy. Let's just do it and be gone.
We need to get Kindred to work for San Antonio Construction so you can finish freaking like all of
Right.
the roads.
Oh my god, yes.
Can you please finish
1604,
I-30?
281, 410.
I-35. Basically all of them. Just redo all of them, please. Thank you.
All the things that they're about to start doing, I would have had done yesterday.
Only if we can farm him out to up here.
None of my
You'll be in high
abilities-
demand construction, yo. Can you imagine the things that you can accomplish?
None
Blue
of my
collar wizard, is that a
abilities are
thing?
particularly helpful as far as doing that. Who would you suggest for that job?
I mean, maybe once you get your hands dirty for once, while I get some rest and recoup some of my capabilities. See, I'm already talking backwards.
Recape some capabilities.
That
Stone-shaped bridge is probably really slippery, right? Because it would be like one contiguous.
well, I can stone shape it, and then maybe, and I look. Where's Soul? Where is,
He's like right behind you.
Oh.
I've been
Maybe
here
you
the
can,
whole
like,
time.
druid shape like some special moss to like get it to grip,
Well, like
some lichen?
I could grow some
and that way it's
vines.
like eco-friendly.
I mean, nature is eco. We call eco that
E. coli.
whatever. Yeah, I could grow some vines and
God damn it, Jaden.
help make your stonework stronger, keep it together.
So I mean, sound like a plan?
Certainly worth a shot.
All right, I'm gonna go just calm down and take an hour to myself. So y'all figure that part out for me at least.
Galil, would you particularly want to go ahead with me to check out what we can see up ahead?
First sign of danger, you gotta hide and come back.
I was just thinking towards the only two people that will be remaining that have the capability of flight, so far as I recall.
Let's go.
Let us make sure that everyone is aware of the plan first. So I will convey that around the group.
Are y'all going again?
We're going forward to check out the area where we're supposed to leave the wagons.
Do you see that gear? The one closest to your left hand.
Okay, the smaller one or the bigger one?
The bigger one.
All right, sure. What about it?
Shift it over, just a little,
Okay,
Overdrive.
a little more.
all right.
There. The small little orb as you're holding it there. You see a little bit of broken lumber that is that's been like or resting by your right shoulder disintegrate. It fizzles off into nothing. And then refizzles in between the gear you're holding and another section. Perfectly all one piece, but still using the same material.
Whoa! Was
Did you
that
just
you?
Mike TV that shit?
I think yes. For the time being, well. There seems like I can move some small bits material from one place to another and reform them how I need, but very small. I didn't know I could do that, honestly, until just now.
Well, it could come in handy for things I can't reach.
You can let go now. And the piece seems to catch and starts to turn. Nothing outside of the mechanism or the crane work or anything is starting to move, but you can see that it is now receiving the needed torque from the mill outside of the building. With a few more additions of levers, and you guys have a working crane.
Hey, I think we're almost there. Not that I know too much about this stuff, but that looks like a good sign.
So then I would say this is when Renan comes up and informs you with everything that you guys are about to do, or that they are about to do.
Why do y'all need to go ahead? Like, as far as my understanding, the bridge is like a straight shot to where it's like the drop-off point. Correct?
Well, it has to go a mile into
the woods.
So the bridge is just one aspect of it that needs to keep going.
Yep.
Okay.
We haven't made it to Grandma's house yet.
So we're over the river. Do you see what's next?
Kendrick, any
Right.
chance you can bond all of us?
Oh, he's
It
trying
takes-
to rest.
Like, I am trying to. It takes 10 minutes.
But you know it would be smart.
Actually, right now, I don't think so because all of y'all in my head's when I'm trying to rest. But it takes 10 minutes. If y'all could just.
There's a bottle in my room on the airship. When we get back with your name on it.
I'll work on it. Y'all come here.
Booze, I'm in.
So I don't let y'all leave for like 10 minutes as I'm like just the whole time I'm like going through the motions of the spell, but I'm like fucking annoying. Grumble. And like how I have to like touch everybody to link us. It's kind of like more of a like
Are you
Ex-
including
except for
Axel in
Iskra.
this?
I asked Max, I'm like, you want to be part of the shenanigans?
He shakes his head no.
Really?
Smart choice. And I go on. And so 10 minutes pass and then we are all linked.
How's
He-
this
Except for Max.
hallucinatory terrain, the bridge? We got it worked out.
Do the last time you did hallucinatory terrain is that's not a concentration spell, right?
No, it's a 24-hour.
It just lasts. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was
Are
like,
you
wait,
able to
I just
cast it in more than one place?
yeah, I was just thinking. I
I
was
was
like,
kidding.
oh, okay. I was like, wait, that's actually pretty dope if you can do that. Because I was like, wait, weren't you using that to cover the caravan right now? And then I
Yeah,
was
but
like,
what'll
wait.
happen is it's a hallucination. So as soon as someone walks on it, they're gonna realize that's not real, and then
Imagination.
Pull a Wile E. Coyote where it takes him a second to realize gravity is taking
Yes.
hold.
Just
Yeah.
walks over the Grand Canyon for some reason.
hey, wait a minute.
No.
Wait a damn minute.
Okay, so to
So-
recap here.
Glow and Renan, y'all are going scouting ahead.
Yes. All right. Kindred, you are resting to try and do arcane recovery for the next hour.
Yes, and I'm actually gonna go up to Max. And
Okay.
just kind of pull him off to the side, and we'll just like
For them,
Chill.
we'll get to that for a second. Iskra, Sonder, Sol, and Arjun, what are you guys doing?
I guess. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking to scout ahead as well.
Arjun would be kind of, I guess, finding a decent perch, like up on a rock or something, to kind of keep watch of the area while also trying to just recoup a tiny bit.
wait, Sonder, you're gonna go scout?
Yeah,
Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go, Sonder?
I want to climb the wall of
What
the
wall?
like the wall of the.
The mill?
Like one of those fake rocks.
There's no wall around here. It's just the mill.
Like further out, isn't the kingdom like surrounded by?
The city of the city of it is like probably a mile
okay.
up the side of the river. They're like you're basically a mile downstream from where the city is. Like you can see it.
We're like Encanto.
Yes. Maybe.
It's been a while.
Have you
You
seen
mean
it,
like
Aaron?
yeah. I was just trying to see
Okay.
get what you meant. Like you mean the house is up on the hill and the
Like the river, and then like, but the mountains are like way off in the distance.
yeah. Oof, I guess so. I had to like that threw me off.
Sorry.
But
Okay.
yeah, no, you're fine.
Then never mind. I thought it was closer. Then I'll just stick with the group. Whatever we're doing,
Well,
waiting for
Sonder-
Kindred to.
Did you want to go with them? Just got ahead.
I don't have a purpose right now,
Do
so
you want
yeah,
to go?
yeah.
Just
Then
promise
hop on.
me you will take care of it, or I will kill you myself. And I will pull out a feather duster.
Wow.
Hand them the keys.
Is this character growth?
Shut up.
Wow.
Bring it back by 11:30, and I don't want a dent on it.
I almost better fill it up with gas.
I'll grab it and say thanks, Dad.
So I hold it out and I said, the command word is macabre. Say that, and you can fly around on it and keep up with these nincompoofs and keep them in check.
When you said that, did you sort of like hover off the ground for a second and
Right.
try to
I
land?
did a
Or-
chin up. No.
Macabre.
Macrame?
Macrame. It's like another one of those moments where you took the anti-gravity potion and you just go shooting up into the air like this.
Up. Up.
Okay, and
So
then
essentially it's a broom of flying.
yeah.
Okay.
Soul, what are you doing, or what would you like to do while you were waiting for the gang to get back?
Are we even next to this place where we're supposed to construct the bridge, or is that further
Yes.
up as well?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So the mill is right there at the water's edge, and that is where like the crane that would like take the caravan's goods off, right? Is there, and then the bridge is supposed to be. It's like this beaten path that you guys have been traveling along that also leads to the city. Ends right there at the water's edge, and you can see that's where there are still maybe a couple of planks of wood at the very edge, not like a full dock's worth, but like maybe like 3 or 4 planks, and then it's just burnt and exploded, and then all the rest of the bridge is gone except for a couple of posts along the way.
How many feet would you say of bridge would we be needing to create? Because I want to see if I have enough spells to do what I think I want to do.
It is about 70 feet to the other side of the river. And then the posts that are, some of them are still there, but they're like at like a bent outwards angle, like as if something had exploded, aka fireball. Something had exploded. They stand probably about like 30 to 40 feet across from each other. So it's like these two rows of, it's like you've seen broken docks or piers at the water's edge that are just like the posts that stick out and you can tell it's where it used to be. It's kind of like that. You just see them going all the way across. Some are missing, but only like 1 or 2. The rest are, most of the posts still stand. They're just at like a Thanks for the posture check, Zaylin. I appreciate it.
Crack my back again.
So Sol will be there, kind of just sitting on the floor, looking at this area that we're supposed to try to fix this bridge, and he's just going to be mulling his brain over on ideas of what he can do to help.
All right. So, Kindred, you said you were going to Max, just so that we understand. Max has been sitting on some steps here at the mill and taking his sword out of its scabbard. Scabbard? Why does that word sound weird? Has it like between his feet, that's like tipped down on the ground between his feet, and he's just kind of like absent-mindedly rolling it around, so it's kind of creating like a little divot
Like a
into the
divot.
ground. Yeah, so it's just kind of like, and not necessarily going like this, but in that in that sense of just kind of like rolling it around and watching the dirt kind of like move around the corner. It just seems to be lost in his own thoughts.
Just sit with him and
Rest.
for once enjoy peace and quiet with someone. That way he's not alone, but he doesn't feel like someone's pestering him.
Have we left yet? In
I
this
hope
case?
so.
Yeah, probably. I would assume you were probably like just now leaving. Iskra, are you still up there fixing doing the last of the fixing?
Yeah, I figure if I stay in here working on the crane, it keeps me doing something useful for the party and able to make myself not a part of the party again if I have to. So, because technically I'm supposed to be watching them secretly. So,
Okay.
I want to say something, but it's so
All right.
it's like typical, like the lesbians are fixing stuff, like
it's true though.
They already
and
made
I got
the
a feather duster.
They already made the trip to Home Depot. They are working away. They are fixing it up.
They're back in their U-Haul.
All right. So, as you guys are working on fixing up the last bit of the crane, it's actually, we'll say it's relatively quick. There is not much left. It's just attaching a couple more or fixing the levers that are needed, or levers, that word. The switches needed,
lever,
the cranks, the lever, pull the lever. Yes, you need to fix the levers, which using between using your mending spell that Renan helped you learn that you had, as well as Ghost Atet's transmog system, you're able to kind of start piecing the things back together. Give another 10-15 minutes and you'll have a working, completely functional crane. What was I gonna say? Okay. All right, so that leaves the three of you as you fly off into the air.
It's a tree because he's not used to it yet.
Well, we'll say that as you are flying, he gets close to, but then does some very dope monk stuff and does a little underhanded swing around and like, wah! Close calls. But, with your agility, it is easy to you even start maybe fooling around a little bit to where it keeps going. You can leap over a branch and then land back on it again. You have that
Probably
ability.
Motherfucker.
I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't try
You
that.
wouldn't. No, I know. But I'm saying.
I'm
But I could. I
imagining
probably
him
could.
going the whole way, just hanging onto it like a pull-up bar, because he fell off in the beginning. But hey, it's still listening, so I'll just hold it here until we get there.
He's standing on the broom, surfing.
Yeah, you are now the Silver Surfer. Congratulations. All right, so the three of you, Galil, you're on Oreo. And then Radon, you guys start flying out. And you are headed across the river just to kind of scout out that area. Correct?
Are we going towards the forest area?
Yeah, into the
river.
forest and toward the drop-off point.
Are you staying above the tree line or staying low to the ground?
Probably
If
both.
we can see, Oh, Graham, I'm getting the echo too. So it's
Yeah.
I
not
hear your
mine.
echo, yeah.
I only hear an echo when you're talking.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone now.
Maybe it's
Okay.
just that I wasn't being particularly loud that time.
I don't know. Okay,
It's
so
just you're flying and there's all the petrified trees. There's
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
like
Yeah.
so
I'm going
River.
through
If we can
the tree
see
line.
the road, then I would stay below.
okay.
Or I would stay above if we can see the road from above the tree line.
The trees closest to the river, incidentally, have the fewest. There are extremely few petrified wood here near, especially on this side of the river. Like you see that most of the petrified trees are on the opposite side, heading out that way. Now on the inside of the river, it is just dense, thick forest. So I would say from the height
that's
of
a
above
no.
the tree, you're not going to be able to see the road very well. You might be able to catch glimpses of it here and then, but it would be very, very easy to lose.
Okay. Then yeah, following the road probably from below the tree line.
Okay.
I'll use perception to see if there's anything moving in the trees.
For sure. All three of you make perception checks for me if you will.
Okay.
Yay, advantage.
24.
Yay, good roll.
23.
24.
Okay. So, as you guys are cruising down below the tree line, still keeping, you still probably have about 60, 70 foot clearance between the floor, forest floor, and the topmost or the lowest most branches. So you can kind of keep still a relatively high distance off the ground as you travel through here. But the forest is extremely dense and very, very dark, especially even with the sun starting to rise in the horizon. It is a very dark forest. So, oh my God, Sonder, what were you gonna say? Just go through all of my children.
I'm gonna come up next to Galil and ask if he senses anything in this area.
I'm just gonna pat Oreo. Hey, slow down a bit, but keep alert. I'm gonna focus while holding on to her.
Kind of like
I'm imagining what's his face
like-
on the luck
I'm not
dragon.
death
You're just
choking
like
her.
you're just like laying down, all
Basically.
snuggled into this big furry creature. Just like, yes, I'm not sleeping. This is not me taking a nap.
Primeval awareness.
Alrighty. As you prime evil awareness,
Ooh, that's my last first level.
it goes out and around you. In the immediate vicinity, you don't pick up anything. The small, darkened pinpricks of undeath. Nothing close, but just at the very edges of your senses. And slowly fading away behind you, the brilliant red hot heat of the inferno. Reminding you of whatever it is that is walking amongst your party right now. But nothing in immediate, nothing that would pose immediate danger. I would say this is because you get a mile range, right? This is all probably at the very edges of the mile, and it's very scattered.
We're good. At least for now.
nothing large that might be the source of this. No.
No.
You guys continue to fly along, coasting in and following the twisting path of the road on the ground. About we'll say 3/4 of a mile in, there is a shift in the air. There is a coldness and an oppressive darkness that seems to eat away at whatever the light is that comes up from above. And it seems to just permeate through the forest.
Should I light it up first?
Smoke him if you got him.
How dark is it? How dark is that?
I would say it's right on that cusp of between being dim light and complete darkness.
And then, is there like a noticeable center area? Or is it just
It just seems like it's just everywhere. It's just like it progressively, the deeper you were going, the more progressive it became. So it's like you were heading deeper into it.
Okay.
With who had the highest in the perception check?
I think
it was Sonder.
I had a
Sandra and I
24.
tied. Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
tied.
got 24 as well.
And what did
I
you
think
get?
your passive is higher than me, Galildo.
I got a 23.
Okay, so then Sonder and Galil, as you guys are cruising along, there is something about the ground that looks strange as you are going further and deeper in. The grass and the bushes seem to be looking drier, almost like you had seen coming into the woods on the far side of the forest. It looks like that kind of like desert brush kind of look. Everything looks blackened and scrawny. What are you guys doing?
I'll signal that I'm going to go down and investigate.
Okay. Do you guys bring any light with you, or just squinting in the darkness?
I pull out an arrow and cast light and toss it to Sonder.
I'll catch it. With deflect.
I'm going to shoot it at him.
Right?
So that way I know he can catch
she
it.
shoots the arrow.
Yeah.
I just
You're like
rely on what my elf eyes see.
the 5
Oh, true.
the 5 feet of distance between you two. Here, catch this. And what is this, jackass? Just come on.
And then I have dark visions, 60 feet, so I'll use that.
So you're right. So this just adds a little more color to the environs instead of just seeing in that black and white of dark vision.
Yep.
As you get closer to the ground, and the further along that you're flying, because I'm assuming you're kind of coasting down at an angle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have spent a lot of time by the oceans. You see near some trees, probably a cluster of like 6 or 7 barnacles. And then you see like some of the shrub and bushes here look not just dried and but almost drained of whatever life they had contained. Like something that's been sitting out in the sun and just like becomes like squished in, right? There's another word for that and I cannot think of it at the moment. But
Dehydrated.
yeah. Desiccated, is that the right word?
Desiccated,
I think
yeah.
that's the dried, right?
That's the word. Yeah.
Okay.
Jerky.
And the
Jerky
light
five.
that comes from the arrow that Kindred, oh god damn it, that Galil gave to you. You
Shot
can
at.
feel the darkness encroaching on its edges, almost aggressively.
Like this.
Almost.
When you reach that one zone.
The dark zones.
Okay. Looking at the barnacles, how old do they look? Is it something like I don't know if this makes sense to you, but like in the valley, in the Rio Grande Valley, we have shells. We have shells that are just in the dirt.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they've been there for a long time versus something that may have died recently.
These aren't ancient, but they're not fresh.
When we were coming,
as do you stop here, or do you kind of just continue to coast along the ground?
I'll look to the rest of the party.
What are you what are you doing?
I have not touched the floor.
No, I know, but are you continuing along the path? Did you kind of stop and hover where Sonder went down? Because Sonder, are you stopping, or are you just kind of zooming slowly along?
I stopped to look at the barnacles,
Okay.
so yeah, I would have made a step to look.
Galil and Renand, are you stopping or continuing forward?
I would have continued on, but slowly.
Okay.
I would have slowly come to a stop eventually, so it'd be a fair
Kinda
ways
like-
ahead, but not.
But you're in that in between of where Galil is kind of slowly continuing and kind of just keeping eyesight on the three of you.
Do
Go ahead, Sonder.
the trees have that same kind of desiccated feel to them
A little bit.
as the grass does?
A little bit, not as much. There's just the trees are so hardy and large that they don't seem to show any sort of outward sign of that.
And then I'll kind of pick up the grass and see if it like powders into my hand or how dry that really is.
You grab a little twig of the bush, the little brush that's in front of you, and it snaps like tumbleweed, just like it breaks off. And you crunch it into your hands and let it go, and yeah, it crumbles and kind of almost blows away, almost like ash, but not.
Yeah. I'll keep going with it.
Okay.
Then
As you three of you continue this journey deeper and deeper, Sonder, are you staying kind of lower to the ground?
where are y'all at right now?
I'm assuming they're still up. Unless
Yeah,
something
we're
like
still
After-
up, but underneath the tree line still.
that. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
then I'll do the
I
same.
would be right below the canopy.
I don't know what's out here, so I don't want to
Keeping
And that's on low.
the further in you go, and you know you're probably getting close. The further in you go, Sonder, you see more and more of these rock outcroppings that have what look like barnacles to them. Occasionally in larger patches. And still, as you are going deeper, there is that oppressing feeling of the darkness just surrounding you. It feels almost tangible instead of an absence of light. And then you enter a clearing.
Soul would hate this.
Seeing the clearing coming up, I wouldn't actually go into it yet. I would stop at whatever the edge of it is to look around the clearing.
Okay. There are this ring of trees that starts to like spread outwards, and you can see. What's the range of your dark vision? Is it 60 or 120?
120.
And 60.
There's a 60. Galil.
60, then 10 feet of blind sight.
Okay. So for Renan, you can see almost clear across the other side of this clearing, and there is a pit almost like a quarry that has been dug into the center of this clearing. The stone path that you are on now kind of goes off to the side a little bit. One continues through, it seems, and continues to the other side of the clearing where the path continues on, but then it splits and then starts to go down in this like spiral on the edges of this pit. And then for Sonder and Galil, you guys see the beginning of this pit, and you can see like halfway across of it, but you can see that there is a pit here in the center of this clearing that goes down a little bit.
As far as I can tell, there's nothing dangerous in the clearing. It's just the pit.
There's nothing moving. In fact, you listen with a perception check for me, if you will.
All of us?
Sure, if you want.
Yeah.
All right, 26.
27.
23.
Nice. Listening to the deathly quiet sounds of this forest, it reminds you of whenever you first stepped in to the petrified forest. This absence of anything in there. And you kind of now have noticed enough that closer to the river, there is sound, there's birds and small things and general,
life.
Even though it's subdued, there is general life sounds. But here this far in, it's almost that like, just like there is the almost palpable absence of light, there is almost a palpable absence of sound, as if everything is being silenced and muffled. And you can almost hear, like when you close your ears and or cover your ears, and you can hear yourself breathe or like the heartbeat. It almost has that feeling, like just right there. Yeah.
I want to speak to the manager.
With that, just for the sake of curiosity, I'm going to try through the telepathic bond. I'm going to say, can you hear anything? To both of them.
It's just my own heartbeat. So lifeless this place is.
It's perfect.
This is all wrong.
Go down in the pit.
We are not going into the pit with only 3 of us.
Sonder, toss me that arrow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot the light arrow down the pit. To see how far down it is.
I want to hover over the pit a bit. Not directly over it, but
Just
I don't want
right
like
at the
a
precipice of it, yeah.
but
Do you see,
They
even from
are
this,
going into the clearing, I will stay like right at the edge of the clearing.
okay. You fire the arrow off. It flies into the dead center of this pit. You can see now from where you're perched, Sonder and Galil, did you move forward a little bit or staying kind of a little back? From where you guys are perched, then you can see the path that kind of curves down around the outer edges, and this pit probably goes 80 feet across. And then you see it clank and hit the bottom. But the amount of darkness here is so oppressive that it seems to have dimmed the light to where you can see like this little bubble. Your light spell does what normally like
20 feet bright,
and
20 feet dim after that.
This is at most 20 feet of dim light around the arrow itself. And it's like the further it went from you, the further into that pit, the more that it consumed that light. the brief images you saw of the light hitting is it hits some sort of stone platform in the center. There look like there are 40, 50 feet down. It's not a terribly far.
I want to go down.
I'm going to go down, Renan.
Yeah, I'll follow.
We'll keep in contact with you. We're going to go down.
Okay.
Sonder, first sign
reciting
danger.
something to me at least
What?
through the bond.
Of course. Okay. First sign danger, we're leaving.
All right.
You fly.
But staying alert.
Down. Coasting down on the broom, coasting down feather duster, coasting down on the feather duster, and then coasting down on Oreos. You kind of do this slow glide in unison, looking like those Blue Angel jets that just like flying super close as you kind of coast down and around in the center. You hit the lip.
Barrel roll.
You hit the lip of the ground and enter into the bottom of this pit. And the darkness is gone. You can see the pit as clearly as if it were day.
Hey,
The bright center of the arrow looks completely normal.
The darkness is some kind of illusion. It's brighter in here.
Freaking
For
kindred.
some reason, I really want to.
My mind just went, and now 200 years have passed outside the pit, and they've been gone forever.
Oh, it's that movie. Shit.
Yeah. Anyway, that one. No, so you get into the inside of this pit. You look around, Sonder, and you see along the corners where the wall and floor meet that there are little batches of more of those
Articles.
barnacles. Thank you.
I'm gonna grab one and take it and just see if I recognize it as something that is normally in the ocean, or if it seems like kind of like totally alien barnacle-like creature.
You get down to the ground to where there's one of these things, and you guys see this. I'll get to that in a second. You see in the center of this thing, there is indeed a large platform that stands here in the center. And there are 6 almost rib-like constructs that are pointing into the center.
Ooh.
Sticking up at different, like completely opposite points from each other.
That one thing in the Scooby-Doo movie.
Sure. But it does look very bone-like, almost carapace-y in its design. The walls themselves cut into this pit are smooth and almost look organic in nature. And definitely for
Nope, I've seen that episode of Avatar.
Galil and Sonder, as you are here in this space, there is something definitely alien feeling about this place.
You don't think this may be the sacrifice location, do you?
I mean, it might be.
It makes sense, but I don't know
For Galil,
why they would have it this far out, maybe.
does this room feel like the same presence I felt in the abyss when Pigug and them were trying to get me out of it?
Make a history check for me.
Okay. 15.
Only in the sense of it looking organic. It doesn't give you the same feeling. This just feels other. But it does have that similarity in design, I guess. But it doesn't
I went to
seem the
far
same.
realm without me.
I want to illustrate it real quick. if I can.
Sure.
So I'm going to get some paper out and a coal from my backpack and just do a quick sketch of this thing.
The whole easel.
Then and some really curly hair, and suddenly he's Bob Rossing it right there in the center of this pit.
While he's
Let's
doing
take
that,
Happy little alien ribcage.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, kind of like that. Right, I would
I'm
say
gonna
right
examine.
at the center of it, it almost has like a knuckle-like joint fixture, and that's what I meant by carapace. It almost has like this like weird knuckle. It's almost very much
Like
kindred.
crab legs.
It's almost like if I could do my fingers all the way around, but yeah.
Crap.
And give me one more finger. There you go. Looks like that.
Oh, that's what he said.
Okay. Damn it.
Wow.
All right.
I'm gonna go around and examine everything.
Careful in there.
Okay. Renan, you are able to hear everything that they are, and you can see them too. It's just, even with this dark vision, like, it just feels weird. It's like there's like a haze to it, and not to make it impenetrable to see, but there's just like this haze that seems to be obfuscating them there at the bottom, but you can see them.
So what I would like to do is I'd like to walk up to the edge of the pit. I lay down. I just stick my head under the border to see if I can see.
Decapitated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you activated my trap card. No, you lay there at the edge and stick your head a little further down, and it takes a couple of inches. But once you have moved far enough down,
Damn it, Kindred.
once you move far enough down, the entirety of the pit is visible to you, and it's not like it's lit up. It's just no longer under whatever effect is keeping it oppressively hidden.
Glory.
Okay. So every like, I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds, I'll pull my head back and look around and
All right, Galil, you said you were gonna look around
stick
and
my
stuff.
head back in.
Did you do a roll for me? Investigation, or you're
Yeah.
wanting to poke
Since
around
I'm
a bit?
actually looking around.
Mhm.
Ooh. What's my investigation?
One
Okay.
investigation.
19.
19. The outer edges, there is a ring around this platform at the very, like, as soon as the platform raises up, probably like 5 or so inches off the ground. It's a very like angled rise, right? And at the very edge, all the way around, making almost like a band between each of these fingers, is about 4-inch wide band of sand. And it's black. It's like obsidian sand. It's just in the complete band all the way around.
Interesting.
So since Kindred is not here to be overly cautious for us, don't stick your hand, foot, or other extremity on the other side of the sand. I have this innate feeling that's a bad idea.
Right.
Don't do the hokey pokey.
But you can turn yourself around.
You can turn yourself around. We can go back. It's fine.
Want to unleash like a demon or something. So yeah, no breaking the circle.
Where's Taco?
So being able to actually see better down there, given my travels, would I be able to do a history check to see if anything looks familiar for me?
Yes.
Can I investigate on something drying
Sure.
to see if there's any like dried blood or anything like that around the area?
Go
In
for
the
it.
outer like rooms here.
We can keep looking around and see if I can find like any carved words anywhere or anything like that.
That is a 22.
Nice. 24.
Okay. Sonder, as you are looking around, you see more of those barnacle-like things at the very edges of the pit. But no signs of blood. There does look to be scratch marks on the platform itself, and the center of it is smooth. It's like this smooth, almost marbly gray looking stone. And it looks like there are grooves as if something has been dragged onto it.
Onto the platform itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can see where maybe there were tracks in the little banks of the sand. I'm going to kill you, Zalen. I am sitting up straight.
One more.
There are bands in the sand where maybe like the wagon wheel had like come across it.
Oh.
And then maybe
So
something
this-
had been dragged. Like something heavy had been dragged, or it's like a sled perhaps. Maybe not even wheels, but maybe like a sled had been dragged onto there. But there is no blood. For Galil, you're looking around for any runes or writing, and oddly, everything here gives you the impression that there would be something. Looks like a ruin of some sort. Like, obviously, this is a altar. You would imagine some sort of iconography of any sort, but there is nothing. Everything is smooth and organic looking, and that's but as far as like that you can tell, there are no writing. There's no source of like carving or ink, but your eyes do keep focusing on the band of sand around this platform. It's the only thing that looks like you could write something on. Renan,
It's like,
over your many, many years of time amongst the Knights of Silvermoon, you have known many, many races, cultures, and things from across the universes. There are aspects to what you see here that remind you of something, but it's just barely at the edges of your memory. And it was probably just a story that you had heard from another knight, nothing that you have experienced personally. But unfortunately, it's enough. You rolled high enough to where it seems familiar, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is about it. Nothing that you personally have experienced, though. But you know that this is not from here.
Not remembering the specifics, but do I remember as far as said story, was it a danger?
Potentially.
Come on.
So through telepathically, I will tell them, I feel like this matches something I was told by a dear friend a long time ago. I don't think this is from your home, so to speak.
maybe it's the doing of the cross. I'll mention the wagon marks, like the wagon track kind of deal that's happening, the scratch marks.
Personally, I feel like they're feeding something.
Now throw a barnacle in the center.
It makes. You ever thrown a rock into like an empty canal, or it makes this weird echoey sound when rock hits rock, and it just kind of like the sound bounces back and forth on the rocks. this has that same clank, clank, clatter, smash as the last of that barnacle like hits the end. Its last bounce, it kind of cracks and breaks into a couple of pieces, then just scatter on the ground.
Anything inside?
No.
No.
You could see it. It was just like this open little barnacle, and you could see whatever organism normally lives within is no longer there. But this doesn't seem like.
If there are wagon marks, then somebody is coming down here. Maybe there's a door. Does there seem to be a way that that a wagon could come up and down? Or
There is a curving, like path that goes all the way back up to the top that you guys had followed all the way down, basically.
Okay.
A curving
I think this
slope.
may be the site. If our goods are what they're using to sacrifice, then maybe it has something to do with those vases. Those were alien too.
I don't know, but I feel like we shouldn't linger here.
I'll grab another one of those barnacles, and I think maybe Ardrin could give us more information. He might have something. He might have some more say on what this might be.
I'm gonna get one of my empty jars and put some of the sand in there.
Okay. How are you scooping up the sand?
Just scooping it up.
Okay,
Cross the line.
just checking.
Not touchy!
You take the jar and scoop it along the surface of the sand. And you scoop it into the inside. And it sits there at the bottom, probably like that much. But it's very, very fine black sand. It almost looks glass-like, volcanic even, or of some sort of broken obsidian.
Yeah.
Do you guys head back?
You ready?
For now.
How
Yeah.
long has it been since they've left?
20 minutes.
In about 10 minutes, I just want to be like, about halfway up on our spell, guys. Are y'all still alive?
The number you have reached is no longer in service.
I told them bitches I'm coming after Sandra's soul from my broom.
We have some interference in this area. Does this seem to be the epicenter of the darkness that we've seen? This place?
This was the darkest. You haven't gone past this point, but this definitely felt like from the moment you entered into this region to this point, this seems to have been so far the darkest you have seen.
Okay.
But sitting here at the bottom of the as you guys are standing there at the bottom of this pit looking up, you can see the morning sky start to light the from beyond the trees. It doesn't look like there's any darkness from down there, but it's not quite daytime yet, but you know that morning is now approaching as the sky is kind of lightening up, and you can now see the area around you. It unnervingly looks like a sacrificial altar, but to who and what, you have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Before we go, I pick up the arrow and head out.
Yeah. Maybe we should go just a little further out to see if it does get darker. And if not, then let's head back.
And before we actually leave the clearing to try to go forward or back, I'm going to go up and see if I can get out of whatever the darkness is and look along the tree line to see if I can, or along the top of the trees to see if there's any buildings poking out.
Okay.
strange obelisks for some reason.
What is it? A dead zone y'all entered in?
You start flying upwards, and like as soon as you stand up, you're back in that oppressive darkness, right? You start flying upwards, and you kind of have to shield yourself a little bit, do a couple of like really strong beats of your wings, and like just punch through the layer, because there is not really any spots, easy spots for you to fly up through. So you just kind of have to like torpedo up through it and then blast up as far up high as you can to get to the top of this tree line.
These some wide ass trees.
Yeah, they are. It is a very dense, and it's like somewhere between like a pine forest kind of thing, where all the branches kind of just like commingle with each other. Imagine like cedars, if you will, but tall. There's no escaping the branches. You just fly up through
Ronan
it.
sneezes.
Getting to the top takes a little longer than you expected. You have to make one more painful, powerful wing beat to punch through that canopy. And once you punch through the canopy, you are in morning light. You can see for miles and miles in all directions. To the east, you see the mountains. From where you're at, the mountains to the east are probably a good 40 to 50 miles away. Probably closer to 50 miles.
Does it seem like it's just straight forest between us and the mountains?
There's a little bit to the north. You can see some patches of open area where like this river seems to be going and snaking its way through the forest. To the west, you see the large open area of where Pirados sits in its clearing. And then the forest beyond it, it's speckled green, then it becomes these shades of gray as the petrified forest kind of takes over until you can see the sands to the far, far, far west.
Then at that point, I would come back down and relay that to the three of them. Or the,
all right.
Well, yeah, the three of them.
Yeah. And then after that, you three head back to... Well, I guess while you were going up, Sonder and Galil, if you had wanted to look a little further east, it's still the same darkness. It starts to lighten up a little bit, giving you the idea that this is the center of this darkness.
Yeah, that was the epicenter.
Mm-hmm.
A singularity.
So you guys start to head back?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Now that we know that was the source of it.
Sonder, you and Galil, having gone a little further eastward, it starts to lighten up a little bit. So you kind of get the idea that this is the center of that. And then the three of you go ahead and start to navigate your way back to the rest of your party.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, on that note, as you guys head back, we'll pick up on the rest of the party there on the other side as they await the return of their scouts. As Iskra and Ghostatet start to finish their...
What is it, Rudy Riveter or whatever her name was?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and you guys get to whatever is gonna happen next. We will be right back. Give us like 10 minutes and we'll return shortly.
Oh, we won't, because darkness.
Hello, everybody. We're back.
Be like it's not two in the air now.
True. It could be worse. Could be worse.
Where's my ping pong
Jinkies.
balls?
Oh, no. Okay. So, you're the worst.
Look, it's Winona Ryder.
I was thinking
humans.
Rita Repulsa.
I know. I love the use that Solar Bear has been giving us of Rita Repulsa all the time now.
I'm an intergalactic star witch. I am goddamn diabolical. I hate you more than I hate the grocery store. I invented the grocery store.
That's from Brandon Rogers, right? I love
Oh
it.
my
I
goodness.
think someone's gonna have to send me a link 'cause I don't know what this is, but it sounds amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see the Annabelle and the Megan one?
Mm-mm.
I'll send you that one, Kendrick.
Okay, so while Sonder, Galil, and Renan have been out scouting, they're well, like I said, oh no. Iskra, within like 10-15 minutes, you guys have completed work on the.
I'm now the fourth person you've called Kindred today.
I don't know why. My brain, like I said,
I'm
it's
Kindred. He's Kindred.
Strawberry's just assimilating everyone at this point, so
it's instead of Wombo.
Strawberry Kindred.
Instead of Wombo, it's just Kindred. No, I, she, he, Kindred, we, Kindred. Okay. Within 10-15 minutes, you have now finished all of the work on the crane and can now unload the caravan once they arrive. What would you like to do after you have accomplished that task?
I'm gonna test this thing out.
All
Make sure it
right.
works. Pull some levers.
Pull the lever. Tap.
Nice. Do I have? I'm sure I do.
But do you have like fantasy medieval crane noises and not like industrial?
I think the closest thing I'm gonna have is probably steampunk. So that's about as good as it's gonna get.
Hydraulics.
Yeah, right. All right. So as you go over with, all right, calm down, music. I need you to be a little more chill, please. There we go. As you go over, oh yeah, here's some gears. Oh, those are small. Those are tiny gears. I need big gears.
metal
Oh,
gear.
well. Yeah. Those are really tiny gears.
Otacon!
Yep. Okay, well, there's some creaking wood sounds. But yes, so with a couple of shifts of the lever, you're able to move this platform out that you did thought was part of the floor. And I will say probably Soul, well, I guess actually, so you would have noticed because you're down below there, Kindred as well, but I think Ardrin is the one who had found himself a perch. So like, we'll say this section of flooring kind of close to where you're at suddenly like shifts over and out, and it starts to like extend and swing outwards to become a platform over the area.
Tell me that's you.
Well, that's neat. Yeah, I think it's working now.
All right, good to know.
All right, you mess with it a little bit more, and you can figure out a way to like lower the cable, the rope platform down to the ground. You can raise it up, and it just kind of basically becomes a platform, so stuff can be loaded off sideways and then brought down. That's the extent of the crate. It's not really gonna like swing anywhere, but at least it'll carry and lower.
Neat.
Kindred and Soul, what are you guys doing down there? Or just been relaxing?
Remind me, do we have spice murmurs again?
Nope.
No. Just the only two spies members are existing right now is the one with Ardrin and Iskra, because they're on opposite sides of the caravan task force sort of thing. But I think you all have. Was it all of you, Kindred?
The telepathic bond besides Max. For 1 hour, we are linked.
Okay, so you do have a telepathic bond.
So then does that mean we can pick and choose who we want to message, or is it when we... Okay.
No, you can pick and choose.
Then Soul's going to message to everyone who stayed behind. So I think I have an idea of how I could help out. I could be in the water and help if we make pillars of something and build the bridge on top of, like Kindred said. I don't have the pillars though, if you have those.
I guess I'll start making my way to
Downtown.
to solve. But also keeping the mental loop there. Just, are you sure that it's gonna be okay for you to be in the water? When they were testing it earlier, it didn't seem too hospitable.
I think. How deep is the water? Do we know?
I have not tested it yet, but from looking at it and from when you guys were kind of watching it there at the edge, now that the sun is starting to rise a little bit, you can see a little better. It's looks deep, but not terribly so. It would probably be taller than you, though, for sure. It's not like vast amounts of depth to it, but the bottom quickly disappears, probably like 20 feet out from the bank of the edge, and you can see that the speed that the water is moving, like the top of the water is moving relatively fast, so you know that it's pretty quick moving river down below.
Just around the river bend. I mean, if anything, Sonder and Iskra can totally like control the water, so they can like move it aside for you to do what you need to do if that's the case. And I mean, and this is the telepathic bond as well. And so, why not try to use some of the resources we got here? I mean, we got stone pillars, and I'll just like point to a petrified tree. I mean,
Yeah.
and then I like
You do
kind of look at.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
you do see that most of the pillars are there. Only a few of them are missing. So it's more of a, you can use
It's kinda
new
like
pillars, or you
Mhm.
can kind of fix up the ones that have been damaged.
Yeah, I figure that's the case, but I mean, worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I should be fine in the water. I'm sure I can hold my breath for a long time, or maybe I can get Iskra or the Thunder to give me some good water to drink, to breathe.
Or, yeah, we could just make a long tube. I can just shove it down your throat. I'm kidding, Soul.
Well, okay. I mean, depending on what they turn into, it could work, I guess.
We're not doing that.
I mean, I do kind of, for Kendra's point of Sonder and Iskra trying to hold back the water rather than directly being in it. I don't think it's less about you drinking it, more just being immersed is a bit of a problem.
Especially
least
for
I'd rather
someone who
not
likes
find
to
out
be
the
as
hard
clean as
way.
you are.
Okay, well, then at least I could help with the vines. Then
It'll be eco-friendly. We can even have a ribbon cutting. We could call it the Brigade.
Oh no, Taco! I blame you. This is your fault. You and Graham.
What did I have to do with anything here? I was looking for you to
Puns is what happened.
Kendrick has cracked.
I
That's
guess we
yeah.
finally will cross that bridge.
Or you won't. Okay.
Was it a pun too far?
Just a stone's throw.
Anyway.
So
Y'all are really being trolls under this bridge.
you're not in this. Nope.
Ooh.
He's kicked out of the spell.
I'm just gonna go live with
Sonder has
because
left the
he's now my
chat.
favorite.
Sonder has been removed from the.
All right, so
Do I get my arcane recovery? Hold off a little bit longer.
I don't think it's been the hour yet.
not quite the hour yet, because I was gonna say in the time that these guys have been gone, and then by the time they return, we'll say it's like 40-45 minutes. So you're right there on the cusp by the time they get back.
Okay. So when like that last little bit, is Max still like kind of being emo?
A little bit. He's
Okay.
occasionally he's just like watching you guys as you guys talk, or we're
But
trying
he's
to
not
make
like
plans.
when we first met him by any means.
Right. He's got a lot
Okay,
going on in his head right now.
Uh-huh. Um, I'm gonna just look at Ardrin and then just hear in your head. I'm just we're gonna go for a walk. We're not gonna go far, but we're gonna go for a little walk.
Sorry, you're saying you and Max are? Is that
Yes.
the okay?
Yeah. So then I come up. I'm not gonna like touch his sword or anything, but I'm just like, hey, come here real quick. I want to show you something.
Okay.
And we're just gonna kind of go off to ourselves and not like way out of the view of anyone, but like,
Yeah.
And just be like, so you've been learning a lot. You've been coming along really well. I was gonna talk to your dad. Do you want to maybe write him a letter, send him something? I could send it back to him and let him know, like, from you yourself, like what you've been learning, what you've been doing. I mean, I figure someone like him, he would like to learn the progress of like what his boys learned of like getting his hands dirty.
Yeah, I guess it could write him something. I might not tell him everything we've been doing, though.
I mean, that's what you tell him. It's up to you.
I just don't think he's going to be very happy with
Why? You made a plan. You saw it through. Stuck to your words, as far as I can tell. You held up your end of the bargain. You didn't let others down. I mean, well, he may not like it. You were dependable.
I think it's more of the danger of stuff that we're doing that he might not like. I don't think he was very happy when I left.
Why?
He didn't really like me having the sword and stuff.
He does. I figured he would have been the one that gave you the sword.
No.
I gave it to you. No, I'm kidding. I don't.
He didn't give it to me.
Did you take it from him? And now it's like linked to you? I mean, I'm not judging. We all get a power from somewhere. Everybody knows I've called on some demons myself in my past, but
He's not a demon.
devil? I know they don't like to be mistaken for each other.
I guess
Am I
so.
correct then? Okay.
I'll write him a letter.
Okay.
But I might leave out all of the and he looks around at the burning piles of the smoldering now piles of creatures.
I mean, I probably would too. But I think he'd be proud to know that you're learning to stand on your own, survive out in the, not the wild, but you know what I mean, like with cutthroats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He looks over his shoulder at the mill and everybody over there. And you see the flying trio start coming from across the river.
there's no telling what those poops came back with, but at least it came back with my feather duster.
And just in the nick of time, just before the curfew. Looking at the watch.
Came back and the gas tank's on E.
Oh,
This
no.
motherfucker.
He's coasting into the garage.
It's
rather
on
than riding
fumes.
into it.
Sputters.
I left the emergency brake on the entire time.
Oh my!
No!
The blinker's on.
Oh,
What gear are we in? Gear?
You know, it just kept stalling.
Yeah. So
Have you
I think we're gonna have to
projected-
plan to do. Oh, I just like I think we kind of hatched a plan to rebuild the bridge, and then we're gonna get this thing done with and head back. That lady gives me the creeps.
ooh,
The
we
queen?
found something.
Yeah, like she's just kind of weird. Has she been queen long? Is she like well known? Oh, I hit my ear.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I've heard stories of like the royalty and pirados from the merchants and stuff. So for as long
you
as I
heard?
know,
Because you know, there's
Just-
always a little bit of truth to some things. Just have to figure out how much.
not a lot of merchants like to come this way.
I can see why.
They say that everywhere around here is cursed, even for Thayans.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, the Empire has a lot of magic, right?
Yeah, they sure do.
So they should be used to like weird stuff. But a lot of people try not to come this way.
Yeah, but even when in the realm of magic, there's always a dark, shady corner that somebody doesn't know about. I mean, you could probably ask your friend. I bet he knows some hidden secrets.
Yeah, he knows some.
See? And I just like I've seen like Lynn Brender kind of like do things when he's interacting with Ardrin before, and I just kind of want to be like, I mean, what have you seen? Have you shown, like, does he show you things? I'm not trying to pry. Kind of am. Just curious.
I'm not trying to pry.
I realized as
kinda
soon as I
am.
said that I kind of am, but I'm not going to tell you not to use it because I mean I would have used it myself. I will just say,
Make a persuasion check. Go ahead. Finish with your thought, but make a persuasion.
I will just say, I do know when it comes to dealing with devils, choose your words wisely. As it's more of, in case Lynn Brender is listening to me, like a gentle jab, not like devils are the devil.
Devils are the devil.
Is the intent that he would be insulted by using tautology at it?
I mean, I could have fucked it up by calling him a demon, because I know how long it could be. You said persuasion?
Mhm.
Okay. Say +2, so I got a 17.
When I saw you guys come into town, he said that there was something strange about you guys. Like, he can usually tell when people are different. And for all of you
That we stuck out like a sore thumb.
You're very different. And Limbrinder says sometimes he can tell when there's going to be violence. It's usually how he keeps me safe. Or defends me when I need to.
That would be like one at a time he would kind of take over without warning as like a preemptive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes sense.
And when he saw you guys, he said he could sense that there was a lot of violence.
That's just Iskra.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Punch
innocent.
any dragons lately, Iskra?
You know, one or two.
Well, yeah, I mean, when
And I
you
told
have
him,
mercenary work, violence tends to kind of come with the territory.
and he knew that I wanted to get stronger. So he told me that this was the best way.
What do you think?
I don't know anymore.
Why?
Stories are always different than the real thing.
Well, that's why you make your own story.
That's yes, but that's not what I mean. I guess in my head I had an idea of what being a hero would be like. And I thought Limbrinder was going to help me with that. And he does. But now I'm getting more scared.
Can I tell you something?
What?
That means you're getting closer to becoming a real hero.
Being scared?
Yeah. I mean, only an idiot would not be scared and run in and do the stupid thing. Heroes realize the threat and the danger they're in, and they do it anyway.
Hmm.
So, you want to head back?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll head back and see what the nincompoops came back with.
All right. As you guys return, Sonder, Renan, Gilliel, you are in the process of informing Ardern and Sol a little bit of what you saw.
I'll show Arthur the trunk.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
in a little notebook, I assume.
Doodle.
Is that a naked lady? Is this a naked skeleton?
You mean to show me this page or
This one.
It's a crown.
Princess, is that
not
you?
there, sweetie? What does this at all look familiar to me?
Right.
What kind of role would you like to use for this? Nature, history?
Do you kind of describe the setting in which you came across this site and everything too? I'm assuming
I would imagine.
it's all darkness. Yeah.
And I
Talk
pull
about
up the
the,
sand.
And the wagon works and how it's. I think it's the altar that they use.
Guess I'm
One
gonna
of the
use
altars.
history.
Okay.
It really works.
Sure.
Can I do one as well?
Sure.
Okay.
13.
Before you tell me yay or nay, would I have advantage because of the barnacles relating to a seaside creature?
Ooh, this is interesting.
Right?
Wait, what's it relate to?
Well, if it's a seaside creature, I get advantage on history checks on things like that. But I don't. If it's just barnacles, because of who knows why, I don't know if I would get it.
Right. And I'll show you all the barnacle.
Ooh, no.
Okay.
Yes. I'll go ahead and roll. That's fine.
Okay.
Till it's not a barnacle, an actual barnacle.
Nat 20 for my for the second roll for the advantage.
For a total
So
of
29. Totally.
okay. And then for Ardren,
13.
13.
I think
Arjun, you have
Windbreaker helped me.
spent Arjun, you have spent enough time in the Underdark and in other foreign places to recognize something that doesn't belong in a spot. Going by the description and the drawing, this doesn't belong here. You haven't seen anything on the surface world that looks like it. It doesn't quite look like anything even in a Lithid culture, but it has that sort of aliens, otherworldly alien like similarity to where it's like you can tell that it belongs to something else. It's not quite Fey. You've seen plenty of weird things in the Fey realms, but it doesn't quite fit anything.
There's something more whimsical with Fey designs. This is
closer in line with a menacing and a Lithid-like, but not quite that. Kindred. Or the 29. These barnacles don't look like regular barnacles, but they are barnacles of some variety. You have seen them before. You know what they should look like. You've seen things of the read books of plenty of things that belonged in the oceans. But there's this peculiarity about this particular shell, whereas most of them have a certain number of pieces to them. This has almost double that. It almost looks like it's a frozen shell of a flower that is not fully opened. It's just kind of there. So while everything about it says barnacle, everything about it also says this is not a barnacle. This doesn't belong here. But it has...
That was monumentally unhelpful.
This, but it is. It's a mirrored, like
mimic.
A mimic of something, yeah. But it's not, it's dead. It looks like something that's been out of the water for a long time. Not necessarily for hundreds and hundreds of years, but you have now seen enough weird things in this area to know how much of the spell plague has affected stuff, moved things, moved places. Maybe this was some effect of that. But if it was, then it brought these barnacles in from somewhere that was not Faerun. And the description of the darkness also is puzzling, because it almost sounds like a darkness spell, but then there are certain aspects of it that if it had been a darkness spell, they wouldn't have been able to see through it, because magical darkness, you have to have a special kind of eye. So again, it's this really weird puzzling quandary of familiar adjacent.
Like maybe like a somewhat broken rudimentary form of attempted spells, similar or something, but not quite the thing that we think it is.
And it's hard to say without having seen it with a magical eye. But from description wise, everything about this is both familiar, but somehow deviant of your expectations and knowledge.
Well, it sounds like we might have some sort of a familiar problem.
But Dreamy,
that's for you, Dreamy.
Somewhere out there, Dreamy goes, "What?"
I just I'm guessing more in tune with Renan, kind of like it sparks things and it makes me think things, but then I'm not quite sure of these things, so I can't be for certain.
Yeah, there's just pieces of this puzzle that aren't aligning, even though it's kind of like, I guess in the sense of you overlay the piece of a puzzle next to another piece, you're like, the picture goes completely through it. This all makes sense, but the pieces don't
have
fit.
the missing links.
The pieces don't jive, even though the pictures align. It's a really good way of putting it.
You see Ardrin trying to conjure up a sort of wireframe illusion of what Sonder has shown, and he's trying to get him to better describe certain things so we can alter the details to be more in line with what he saw.
I let him know that like it was more carapace and the phalanges had like knuckles.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so just sort of peppering in all these little details to try and maybe jog a memory, a story buried somewhere in there.
I mean, everything about this seems like some sort of a arcane, maybe even and I kind of don't want to use the word, but I look to Galil Fey portal.
No.
But not to Fey. Well, not to that place, but maybe some other place.
It's too alien and disconnected from here. It's not Fey-like. It's...
Well, yeah. An interdimensional portal, essentially.
From the drawing, Kindred, this looks like a teleportation portal.
Yeah, but not Fey.
It doesn't look like the gates you've seen, because those have all been upright. Correct. And even then they have sigils and runes that can be moved around. This is lacking all of those characteristics. However,
the chevrons
I will
are
say
locking.
Yeah, I will say for you, seeing the
sand,
you see that ring and then you make the connection with the sand, you have an unlimited amount of ways of drawing things in the sand. And taking the little jar of the rock of the obsidian stuff, and you kind of like do it to the morning light that is now coming over the horizon. As we'll say, it's like 8-9 in the morning now. The day's like starting to come. You can kind of like shake it in the light, and it does reflect and sparkle like volcanic rock powder, like that black rock sand kind of thing. It's super tiny fragments, but you can see that they are flat instead of like broken squares or round. These are almost like pieces of reflective material.
Galil, you have it out on like we're like looking at it, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
So then I take it and I just open it's like a canister.
It's a mason jar.
Okay. I open it and I'm just
They're
like
now canon.
Galil's fresh preserves.
Wow, I've
Persimmons.
said multiple times I bought mason jars before.
I always heard glass jars. I never made a connection to mason jar though, but yes, because I just imagine like a little stopper on top or whatever, you know. But yeah, that
so
makes
then
sense.
I just like kind of hold it in front of everybody and I just start casting mold earth to kind of like sandcastle it up into different arcane glyphs to just be like, maybe they don't need inscribed glyphs, they can just make the glyphs and then erase them.
Make an Arcana check for me.
You have a 95% chance of passing this one. Come on.
Well, thanks to Dreamy, I do have inspiration, but that's pretty good. 23.
Using the sand that is in here, you're used to being able to mold earth and shape it into things, and there's a certain amount of effort that is needed in concentration of making this something. And what you initially are trying to go for is there on the bottom of this jar, you're just trying to carve into it a little sand bit. But that's not what happens. As you're trying to mold the sand so that you can see flat the image that you are carving, the sand swirls upwards into the glass and then becomes a solid version of that rune in the air.
That's essentially what I tried to do first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it immediately becomes a solid rock almost, and it just kind of floats in the air in the center of this glass and just kind of like slowly rotates. It's hyper reactive to this kind of magic.
I think we just found a sacrifice.
The
Or
stone is the sacrifice?
Well, at least where the sacrifice is going to. Then we just found the keys. But we don't know where the keys go.
How far
That's-
away is this?
About a mile.
About
Wait.
a mile into the forest.
I have an idea. If this thing is a portal, and the goods that go into it are red wizard robes and the liquid, that this may be the portal to the graveyard, possibly. It was hidden in the dark.
It sounds
In
dark and creepy and bad, so it could be.
Max,
Yeah.
you said even Thayans say this place is cursed.
Yeah, nobody wants to come this way.
I just
That's-
look at everybody like,
they don't want anyone to come here.
Right.
I've got goosebumps in real life.
Me too, yeah. I just made the connection. Like, oh, wait.
Max, I think you might have just became a fucking hero.
What did I do?
That's the beauty of it.
Well, we need to follow through so that we don't raise any attention.
Yes, do the job laid before, but Galil, we need to relay this now in case something happens.
I'm on it.
Well, this is the place that
Do I get my arcane recovery?
Yes.
Okay.
This may be the place that it happens, but we don't have the coordinates yet still.
That's why we're gonna do this right now.
We can get them
Kindred.
from her.
Not now. Let me do this.
I
thing.
need to back away from you guys. You guys are not good for concentrating.
Yeah, me and Galil kind of like buddy off. We'd be like, okay, we need to do this now before next some
Quick,
shit
send the
happens
text
and
messages.
another Z-Rex comes out.
Phone's dying, guys.
Phone's died. We only have
Oh,
2%
yeah,
battery. It's one call.
Okay, I can get up to 6 level spell slots back.
Damn.
That's why I'm like, I need this.
I don't know, Sonder. Your magic, the music magic did it for you this time. I don't know if you heard or noticed what happened, but the music picked up when you said that. And I was just
I
like,
started talking about it.
It's been, what, 4 years?
I do think it would be prudent that all of us make certain that we are fully rested before we go back to the pit again.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't talk about this until we get there to drop off the goods.
so
Okay.
S-
Okay. I
Galil.
did my spells.
okay.
I'm already
Galil,
in
what are you
position
doing?
trying to get a hold of Carp right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you want to do this? Like, what do you want to do? I got my capabilities back. What do you want to do?
You're going to talk to Carp. Let him know. He's going to speak through me.
Is Iskra here? With
Oh,
I'll
wait.
let him know.
10 minutes.
Yeah, it's
Don't it?
I mean, I haven't been standing next to you guys though. I never went
Yeah.
down.
He's making out
Yeah.
with a tat. They did a job well down there, popping. Like,
She's in his
Poppin'
call
shit.
right now.
She's just kissing a floating cube.
It's fine. She's okay. So yeah, you're. I mean, I will say that you are up on in the mill, right? You were just kind of watching everybody. All right.
Rapunzel. No.
All right. So, Kindred, you are sending a message to Carp.
Or I think I can just talk and he's going to be able to hear me, right?
Leo was trying to connect to Carp.
I'm going to use Ears of the Oracle, and he's going to just speak through me and listen through me.
All right, make a religion check for me.
Can I help you? Can I massage you? Get you relaxed? What do I need to do?
Do you need to burn some incense? Get some sage going?
Slap you?
For this, I'm going to use Gift of the Gods as well to help me. Well, favored by the gods, actually. Fuck that. Oh, no, it is Gift of the Gods. Favored is the other one. 1d10.
Grubhub of the gods.
As he goes out of focus once again.
24. Wow.
Oh.
There we go.
The gods took him. He just got fucking, what is it? Raptured.
Yes, 24.
24. Okay. There is a moment whenever you are concentrating, you're trying to make this like link between you and Carp. And there is this fog that muddles your brain a little bit. Just a little before you punch through. Woo. 20 was the DC that you needed to make this connection right now.
Thank God I rolled.
And it's in your mind that you hear Cleo? What's wrong?
You're gonna want to hear this. Take control of my body for a sec.
Ooh.
Kindred has some very good news.
Hopefully.
One moment.
Hold music.
There
hear
is
elevator music.
this weird warmth in your head. This is gonna sound really weird, but
like when you take a poppers?
whenever you, no, I'm sure it's just this warm spreading sensation in your mind. I was gonna say kind of like when you pee, but then I was like, that's also a really weird but it's just like this warm, like it just warm and it spreads from in your mind. I don't know how to describe it.
It's the
Drinking a
us.
really strong liquor.
Yeah,
That, like,
There you go.
is
so it's,
really
that's
warm.
probably better.
You
That's
are
probably
so
better.
pure. Thank you, Iskra.
I was like, I
That's
don't
what we
know
have
how
it to
like,
balance us out.
Whenever I
Now
was
the
like,
fact
it's
the
just like
fact that drinking liquor was the purest form of how this could go is not
listen,
the point.
I have nothing. All right, pea-brained, yes, I'm gonna be pea-brained. But it's just like this spreading warmth that takes over your mind, and you don't feel that out-of-body sense. It's kind of like whenever you would go into beast sense before or something, where it's just like this weird disconnect of what you are seeing and hearing, but you feel your body and it's moving and talking not of your own. And for Kindred, you see his eyes light with a fire. Similar to whenever he does radiant consumption, this is a similar burning light.
And you hear a flush, and Aphria says, "Oh, hey, hi, Uncle."
They've totally made this
Sorry, I
too.
had it muted.
I think we fucking found it. Or we may have found what we need.
What have you found?
They've like shown, and we've kind of like hologrammed the ritual bones things, right? Kind of ish. So we have kind of an idea what it looks like.
Yeah,
Thunderhead went in there.
Okay. I show him all of that, and then as I'm like showing him and like going in and out, like real like 3D home tour of like an apartment, I'm explaining everything to him, and then I pull out the sand and I like redo an arcane sigil, and like I going like 1,000 miles a minute just to get it all out. That way, like he needs to hear this.
This sounds like the closest you have come to finding something of value. Be careful.
That's why we immediately relay this. We can't afford to have something happen and not get passed on.
Then the time has come.
What should we do?
But find out for certain. Follow this lead through. I will rally what forces we can. If this is what you are looking for, we have to be precise. On two fronts, or our advantage is lost.
I have a shitty thing to ask you.
What?
Can you make it so only Khalil and I remember this? I don't want the Thayans getting our secret in case one of us loses like north. I have that fear, and I don't want all of our hard work to just. But I leave that to you.
I cannot do this.
I understand.
Trust them.
Mm-hmm.
You have traveled together for so long.
I just don't want it to all come to nothing because I'll trust him.
I trust the brigade with this. You will see it through.
I hope this is it.
The flames burn out, and Galil takes like a woozy step to the side.
I kind of like. Did you just hear all that?
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from. It just came out. Half I believe it, half I don't. Don't tell the others.
Aren't we all standing in a circle?
Oh, we like went up to a side. I did my dome. We're secret.
I raised my hand, acting like I'm going to slap Kendra and just put my hand on his shoulder instead. You gotta trust the man.
I know. I do.
And don't forget, get your feather duster back.
Yeah.
Because he was writing it better than you were.
I don't know about that. So yeah, I guess we know what we're doing. It's daytime, right?
But
No, like out of game.
Like
It's
9 a.m. Yeah. Like
Okay,
about
yeah.
9 a.m.
Okay. So I guess we know what we're doing tonight.
what about the bridge?
Fuck the bridge.
We're gonna prolong it.
Yeah. Tell him as you came up, we can fake a mechanical function with the mill and say we need more time. But we have things laid out.
Where are we in all of this? The rest of the group,
If y'all want, y'all can come up to a solid black dome that's opaque and you can't hear into.
Yeah, which is
I think we all
real
would have done
helpful.
Okay. So you come out of the dome?
We good? I mean, right? Galoo?
Yeah, just we gotta take care of stuff before we even do anything like that.
Okay. Ready? Exit, dome drops. It's done. Carp knows everything that we just found out, hopefully found out. And he says we need to make sure.
How do we do that?
We continue with
We go into a black hole.
We'll give them their goods and just be there when it's sacrificed and see what the sigils are.
I don't even want to do that. I just want to rest up. We can rest today. I'll protect us. Everybody rest up. And then tonight we go in and just...
I believe that it would be helpful to make certain that we are getting this job done, rather than drawing the ire of the king and queen of the city,
Right.
no matter how apparently loopy they are.
Well, I figured, I mean, we could at least just take a peek.
Yes, and then we
See?
disappear for a week, and they are very concerned about where we went, why, where the caravan is.
We
There are
also have to
other
remember
matters than just this quest that we need to take into consideration before we move forward.
she is a lich after all, so
I mean, if anything, we could just say we hit a snag in repairing the mill and it set us back a half a day.
And then they send their transmogrification mage that she offered to leave, by the way, which would have mean that we would have had a supervisor. If she sends that mage, then they're going to work on getting these things put together, but they are going to be standing over our shoulder. Or worse, they are going to be 5 steps behind us.
Perhaps we can simply say that we are looking for whatever or whomever is breaking the bridge so it doesn't get broke again. And therefore, there's no point in fixing it now until we know what that is.
Until we clear out the entire forest of more of the Rexes. I don't want to wait and then we're stuck. They're watching our every movement. So we have the advantage now. We should rest up, see, be certain, and then strike while the water's hot. And I look at Iskra.
I will say, you know that they are the ones who blew up the bridge.
Yeah.
So using that as an excuse, yeah, because they said that they had destroyed the bridge so that it would try and halt whatever was the undead thing was.
Oh, I understand that entirely then.
And then that didn't work.
But we could also go under the guise if we ran across some more Rexes that we need to exterminate because it's a big forest, right? It's still in forest.
Yeah, they had also said that these two were the ones that seemed to be the main force of, or main driving force of whatever undead incursions would take place, were these two. But they had counted 2 of them. And that usually these 2 beasts lurked in the opposite side of the river, deep in the forests, and they had always left them alone. And for whatever reason, now they had come this far.
Dan Arjun said
within the last 2 weeks. Well, last week actually.
I simply think it foolhardy to abandon this when we have eyes on us from multiple directions. The caravan is still waiting to hear whether or not we've gotten this all completed.
I'm not saying we abandon it. I'm just saying we find out for sure say there's a slight delay and still do 2 birds, 1 stone. I'm not saying we have to go in and launch a full cell assault. I just say we have to just make sure. Carp just said
And-
make sure.
And if we cannot get
Deciduous to make sure.
what do we do if we can't get out once we are in?
You not need that first. Make sure.
Perhaps we can kind of split this a little bit. While the bridge is being worked on, I can go with them back to where they found this thing, get another set of eyes on it. Maybe we can learn a little bit more while we're still fulfilling our end of the bargain.
That could work. The problem is, Kindred is the only one who can fix the bridge. To the best of my knowledge.
Galil, in your head, you're going to hear me say, you both said I need to learn to trust him. And then I just kind of step forward. What if we all don't go in and I just don't plan on coming back? I can contact y'all from another plane. So if it is, I still have means of getting in touch with y'all to let y'all know what I see. Y'all can fix the bridge. Say I died. Just say whatever the fuck you want. I can find out.
Are you able to teleport yourself back
No,
when you're in there?
but I can get a message out.
I thought you could force people from a different plane back to their plane.
That's a way more powerful magic than I can control.
Can banish yourself once we were there.
Right. That's what I was saying.
Right.
Just do that on yourself.
I mean,
That could work,
seems like it
but-
would
Make
work.
I mean-
yourself go back.
Not trying to
your own
metagame
plane.
here, but is that possible?
I don't know. I've never thought about
That's-
you banishing
that's another thing,
yourself.
we
To
don't
banish
know.
yourself? That's what
Yeah.
we did in the Battle Royale.
But I mean,
Is it?
That's so long to kill.
So as
all
far
I'm
as
saying is
you
I
as
don't
a
know what I'll
DM,
find.
you said it
And
was
in
okay.
this case,
Well, I mean, I'm not saying
damages-
against it. I was just like,
Yeah. in this case,
What stage
the-
advice?
the threat is minimum and the risk is minimum. I can have means of contacting y'all in case I'm stuck there or teleported. Who knows what is on the other side? But if y'all want to stay, I'm willing to do it.
I think we should all be there in the end at the graveyard. But to check, to make sure, that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Max
I-
comes up to Kindred and tugs on your robe a little bit.
What do you think?
I thought you said that heroes don't rush in without knowing what to do.
Sidebar, Aaron, why do you always have, whenever I mentor a kid, you use your own words against me?
That's what kids
You
do.
say it.
That's because you're getting
Shut
the kids emotionally attached to you.
Kids listen to everything we say, like word for
Oh, yeah.
word. So when you say something different, they're like, "Wait, hold on a minute."
Do what I say, not what I do. No.
If this is
I don't think you should go by yourself. Of all the
Kindred.
stories you've told me, none of you did those things by yourself, right?
Kind of look at Galil.
well, I mean, she did punch a dragon by herself.
I walk up to Kindred and put one hand on his shoulder. I trust that you can do this, but I'm begging you not to. If we can take another day and still get it done without any of us ending up in mortal danger for no reason, then take a day.
Couldn't you send Malzahar there and then look through his eyes?
No.
What if I summon something? Will that not work?
How would you be certain that the next time you summoned it, it was the same creature?
I don't understand.
How would you know what it does or doesn't do? All you would know is that
Oh,
perhaps it could come back.
oh, that's right. I think Galil said he doesn't do that anymore.
So it sounds like we should take a vote. If we wait, fix the bridge, then proceed.
What
Raise your
about,
hand.
Well, I'm curious about something. What do we do if we find out it is the cemetery and then
We let certain people know that is it, and then we strike.
right? But
And
and what do we do about the cemetery? Do we destroy it?
with all the might that we can, yes.
This cart.
Every ounce of
Okay,
power that
wait,
we can
wait.
muster
I
would
cast.
need to be
Get a little
brought.
silence. Take 10 minutes. I'm gonna re-up the bond. 'Cause I don't like speaking out loud. In case someone's watching us, we don't know who's watching.
I didn't think we were
Iskra
speaking
even
out loud.
here?
No, we're speaking out loud. The spell has ended.
Oh, okay.
Strictly speaking, I don't think it necessarily would be. Because it was 20 minutes to get there, 20 minutes to get back. How long does
Well,
it last?
my arcane recovery, I need an hour. So if I got
Oh,
arcane recovery,
Right. Forgot about that.
yes. So, get a little silence, and then beep boop 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 boop.
Why is he
Except
telling me to shut
again,
up?
Is Iskra even here?
right? Yeah.
I'm just sitting there up on the mill platform. With
A misty
my,
step, touch her, and then misty
legs
back.
hanging over the edge, kind of swinging them. Pleased with myself.
No,
Looking at
it-
everybody chatting.
The way I make it, I touch people,
Okay.
but if it's as long
Oh.
as they're within range of the spell while I cast it, I can include people.
Well, for all intents and purposes, we could be having this conversation up in the mill.
Okay, well then in casting ritual, we make it back to the mill,
Okay.
and we're all re-upped on telepathic bond, even Max, because he's a hero.
I thought Iskra was just being quiet. So then, can we make sure that Iskra is relayed the information we went over?
Hey guys, check it out. I got the mill working.
Who cares about that?
So we
Listen to
have
this.
some
I like-
updates.
Iskra, sit down.
So we
have to have
take
a talk.
20 minutes to explain everything that just happened.
You're just
about
like
to say,
watching everybody
Iskra,
talk.
you've been
over
quiet. Okay.
So now we can all psychically communicate again.
Thank
Well,
you.
okay.
Stretch.
Thank you
We
for
just
the
found
posture
out.
check.
It's time
It's like
for the
the
posture
sixth
check.
one we've had today.
Get ready.
And it's like every time that I lean forward, it's just like posture. All right. Every time I lean forward again, okay. So thank you. Thank you. No, I appreciate
I
it.
do like my little bee dance to like let you know where the honey is and what we figured out.
Okay. So now, Iskra, you and Ghost Ted are caught up.
Okay. I'm gonna look over at her and be like, dang, okay. this is it. This is like it.
So, do we vote?
Or
How about we all go as one? No splitting up.
I
Nice.
agree. And I
So-
think. So I would say for the first one, we complete our task and then tomorrow
Oh.
go in.
Oh,
I just raised my hand.
it moved. It just moved everybody.
Oh, it
over.
did?
Yeah, I was like,
Wow.
I was like, what?
I am the
Jess?
dungeon master. I go in by myself.
This
was
assumed
so-
direct control.
That was so random. I was like, wait, I didn't click anything, and everybody's still
You're the
here.
dungeon
What
master now.
happened?
I execute order 66.
Good.
Amazing.
Wow.
If
I control
there's
the
a
wave.
if there is a portal on this side, then shouldn't there be a portal on the other side?
That should be, but we don't know what's going to be. As soon as we get there, there could be 5 dragons guarding it.
Right.
The last portal we started this place was on top of a mountain.
Wait, to where? You're talking about the Fey
cemetery.
one?
No, the cemetery. The graveyard.
Oh. But that was like to Amaranth's stupid place.
No, that
Right.
was actually to the graveyard.
It could be anywhere. It could be dangerous. Like, we don't know what we're going to be walking
Yeah, we just
into.
don't know what's on the other side.
Kindred, you made a good point. It seems like quite often when we find another lich, there is also a dragon somewhere nearby. Sonder, is there a way that maybe you could feel and find out if there is a dragon nearby?
I can meditate to Bahamut to see if I feel a presence like I did in the last city. But no telling for sure.
And if they're putting supplies into this thing, they're probably not throwing them into a pit or something.
Right.
But
Well,
there
I
might
mean-
be a lot of guards.
Hmm.
She did say we can go see the ritual ourselves too.
Right.
Right, maybe there's still more to learn, you know?
I think we sit back and play coy until we can learn more about what goes in and out.
How about
So far, everyone believes who we are, so that's easy. We just keep up the act for a while.
I'm not so sure about that. And I look at Galil. Nara, she's teasing us. I don't know if she knows who we are, but this is the body I was in when we killed her.
When I was there and met her, she seemed to be totally
Oblivious.
unknowing of who we are. Yeah.
Yeah, but that could be an act. I mean,
but she did say Verity.
she said Verity, Sonder. She looked at me and said, "Do you know Verity?"
She asked, yeah, well, yeah, kind of.
Well, then
She
we
still
do
has
this
some
quickly.
memories.
The words were, does the name Verity mean anything to you? And her expression was that of like, I don't know why do I know this? Like, and then she goes, never mind. I don't know why I said that kind of thing. But yeah.
Very like taunting. Like she's either leading us on that she knows that we know.
But then we keep our
Hmm.
guard up.
Yeah.
But
She,
I still think it is worth it to let it play out, get all the information that we can before we do jump, as Max
They might
suggested.
even just show us the sigils we need to make this thing work properly.
We're in a place
Yeah,
of
that's a good
Very
idea.
true.
Notion.
advantage. This entire place has been decimated by these Rexes, and she would really be the only threat that we could face, and we have killed her before.
And not to overinflate
She
my
was-
own importance or Audrin's, but neither of us were here, I know that.
and also she was by herself and she was betrayed by her right hand general. She's got an army. She has a bard.
She was crazy as fuck last time because of
She was going insane. She was an insomniac. You saw
Right.
her scribbles. Actually, oh wait, no. I do. Give me a minute, and I go through my bag of holding, and I pull out my journal. It's like this fucking thick ass book, and I do have her scribblings like pressed in my journal.
Then we do this quickly before she realizes who we are.
That's why I wanted to go, but
I have
Like,
not-
Did she read the moon runes that were driving her crazy?
No.
I
she
will
just saw
say
the-
this, Kindred. I have not lived a life as long as I have by rushing in half-cocked.
you have to go full cocked.
Mhm.
And
It's not wrong.
Renan visibly just... Yes, so.
Saul has been removed from this conversation.
Okay.
Rooster
How about
teeth there.
this?
Right, what do chickens
We all-
have to do with this at all?
That's from a tet.
Thanks, Hannah.
It is a term from another world. I apologize. Half ready would be the true grammatical way to put that.
Oh,
How
that's what
about
that means. Okay, never mind. I was thinking something else.
how about we all take you there right now, get more lay of the land, but come back. We're not activating any portal. Then we deal with the bridge.
Yeah.
To keep up appearances.
We don't have the.
Then we get a rest.
Precisely.
want to get
Before
arrested?
we go, let them know that we're done with it.
Also, something's been bugging me for a long time.
Well, it's because you have a huge bug on you, Bryce. Like a praying mantis off your shoulder.
God damn it. It was like poised to go. And he's
Like yeah. It like goes full kung fu and like throws me out. No.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Sorry.
I am still confused as to why the other lich saved us and what she wants from us. Does she going to help? I don't like her. I don't really want her to help, but
I doubt that she wants to help. I feel that it is more apt to say that she simply thinks that she will benefit from our success.
And or I mean, this is like a 1 in a 20 chance of this happening, but if you're a wizard who's lived forever, who always knows everything, wouldn't life become boring? Maybe they legit want to die. I don't
But they
think that's
can't.
the case, but I mean, what if like one of the stipulations of this graveyard is that Saz Tam has you? So even if you wanted to leave, you can't.
so you can't break and destroy your own phylactery.
Well, if
They're
he's
hiding
got
it
it,
from them.
That is, I will say that you guys know that that is literally what this graveyard is intended for. To keep other liches from backstabbing each other and to keep a very tight leash on everybody that's under him.
Mhm.
You know that no other lich is supposed to know where this is at. Or what or how to get in there.
So if he holds the keys, he decides when to let you go.
Do we all know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
been
what you said.
Yeah, because
That
it's
might
been
explain.
It
that's
was like part of our mission brief.
Yeah. We got the dossiers and then they self-destructed, you know.
That might explain.
sorry.
I think we should farm
Arjun?
more enemies for a bit and level up, and then
There
come
you go.
and fight.
Remember, save.
I
Where's
think
a
there's
Moogle?
still at least 3 or 4 side quests that we could do.
What were we gonna say, Arjun? Sorry.
That might explain the Queen's dodgy memory. He might need someone of her power nearby, but doesn't want her knowing too much, so he kind of just lets her know all
It's
she
kind of like
needs to.
picking.
Like a sleeper spy.
I believe that is a reasonable conclusion.
Mhm.
It's
Mm.
also possible that Amaranth has come up with some kind of way to survive even with the death of her phylactery. Divination mages have always irked me.
Why? Because they're one step ahead of you?
No, they see things they needn't see.
Yeah. One move ahead.
I am more wary
Sometimes at a
of
cost, though.
Barnaby than I am of Nara at this point. To be honest, he seems to know more than her, especially as she has not been to the ritual itself.
He seems to be eating an awful lot of psilocybin. That seems to be the only particular problem I'm seeing with him at present.
Anyways, do we want to enact the idea of we go check it out real quick, glean what we can, then come back, fulfill our obligation here, so that we
Well,
can watch the actual ritual without any kind of problem weighing on us in terms of obligations and responsibilities to these people.
I've used up a lot of my energy in the last battle.
I
That's
believe
why
that
we're
would be
only
wise.
going just to examine everything. That is it.
Does everyone have to
Considering-
go?
Considering the only
I'll stay
person in
here.
the party with eyes better than mine would be Arthur.
And you did say it was kind of shrouded in magical darkness of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like an illusion, up to a point. But once you're past it, it's like there is no darkness.
I
Well,
thought we weren't going to separate.
Not for the long run. That's why we're just
I don't
going there.
think I'll know anything about it. But
And coming
that
back.
might.
Sure.
He's
Can we take her?
The little drone kind of like
Especially if it's
okay?
ancient.
I was going to say that there might be some things that I could help with, but I'm still learning what I'm capable of. I wouldn't mind helping out, but I also have to stay close, I think.
To Iskra? Then,
Yeah.
Kind of nods
then
a
we
little
all
bit.
go.
how far away? It took them 20
It's
minutes.
a mile.
How many turns are a mile in combat?
Oh my god. I have no idea.
Do you really
How
want to
fast
do
you're
this?
going?
A lot.
Do the
A lot.
math.
Okay, chat. No.
First to figure this out. And I say
Okay, so side. That way you know what I'm trying to do. I have a spell that I can see things every direction, but the concentration I can keep it for up to an hour, and it can go as far away as it can, but it just only has an hour. So what I'm essentially wondering is, can I get it there within an hour to investigate this place, or would it be like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, good.
1,024 turns.
Yeah, so the fastest mile I ever ran was 6 minutes and 8 seconds, I think, because it was part of a 2 mile. So
And
'cause
that's
my,
like
my,
going my speed
my
every
total
turn.
time
Well,
was
yeah. So I calculated it a mile to feet,
12 something.
and
so-
then 30 as far as general movement speed.
And they
Iskra-
said D&D
Iskra's-
doesn't teach you anything.
Iskra's a
Yeah.
literal monk. She runs a
We-
6-minute mile. Holy crap.
If we are going 60 feet
Oh goodness.
per turn, then it'll take 88 turns to get a mile.
If Kindred casts spell A at point location and the
Oh, yeah.
phylacteries are at the
Yeah.
Easily enough. I only said 20 feet because they weren't going full tilt, or 20 minutes
They're,
to
like,
get
cautiously
there.
going.
Because they're being careful about their traveling and
Okay.
in the unknown area. Now that they know where the path
like
leads,
I know the direction, everything, I could just beeline it.
well, they do. Yeah. Like it would be a lot faster. It would be less than 20 minutes to get there, probably.
Okay.
Then
Guys, we don't even have to leave. Like, I can cast a spell, sends a little scrying orb. I could scope the place out, and it doesn't even have to come back. We could all stay here with each other, and the information I can glean from just looking around at everything all at once. I mean, you said if I could look at it, I'm not going to it. I'm just looking at the lay of the land. And now that some time's passed, maybe we could see if there's like guard duties or shifts that come about.
Kindred, why don't you stay here to work on the bridge
That's what I'm saying.
while all of you, to be fair, could stay to work on the bridge, and I can take Aldrin to go look at.
You don't
the
even have to go.
platform.
Like,
He can send an eye and everyone stays here.
yes, all of us.
If you think
will
it
all
will
of us
work.
be able to look through this eye? I think it's what he meant.
Yeah, it's as I can keep a concentration on it for an hour as long as you don't bug me.
But all of us can see through
Who-
this eye.
who
I'll
can,
put
yeah.
the praying mantis on your shoulder.
No, I mean I can see through the sky. But Ardrin, remember when Iskra and Fanch decided to go be heroes?
Yeah, that ain't the same thing.
Well, I could show
And
you
here's
what
the problem I'm
what
having
I'm
right
seeing.
now. You, not more than 10 minutes ago, walked away having a whole private conversation in your little dome. I'm having a hard time trusting you're going to be completely faithful in your relaying of information. So it might behoove us to get a different set of eyes on things.
Y'all said y'all wanted to stay together. I had a solution for me to go look and so stay together. Do y'all want to change it again? I'm just throwing out solutions and options.
Nobody going through the portal. That's the not splitting up part. Not that we can't send another group off to go look at the platform again.
I'm just trying to do this in the most efficient way that I know that we can do.
Well,
But
Ted will, I think, have some knowledge to share if she looks at this.
Renan, what if this is going to take some finagling. I can cast my scry, show y'all what I see, while I'm under the illusion of Zone of Truth.
That's a lot. I think a mile's walk.
It's too
That's
small.
why I
Run
just said
is
let's
fine.
just all go.
Yeah.
But if I willingly choose to fail it, I can't lie and show you what I'm not seeing.
Yes.
The point is that they're seeing for themselves. And I'm just gonna
See, now
start
y'all are
walking.
changing the point.
Let's start walking.
I grab Ardrin and take off.
I cast banishment.
Okay.
Give it your
No.
best shot.
Are we wanting to walk over there, or
No.
yeah? I can.
Before
summon
we out of
things
character are
for us
making a
to
bunch of
fly.
split decisions,
Right.
was Iskra wanting to go and look at this with the Tet?
I mean, if we're putting together a crew to go do that, I will go.
Jump on Oreo.
Galil can be the guide. I'll stay here with Soul.
Well, even then, she knows the way there. I don't even need to go.
True.
Very true.
You okay with that, Iskra?
How many people can Oreo carry?
Two?
I think
Like
2
two.
was the max that we've done.
At max, yeah.
But that was with her enlarged, I thought.
No,
No.
that was just her.
She's
She's
as
just
a
large.
large creature. Yeah.
Large creature, that's bigger. But that spell like only lasts for a minute, so
Okay.
So now we're sending everybody there again.
No. Just,
No, just
Ardrin. Iskra.
Ardrin and Iskra.
Renan's going, taking Arjun by flight. That way nobody's having to cross the river, particularly. Although I would say,
Oreo,
Sonder,
take good care of her.
Sonder, I would say that you could cross the river without touching the water. If you leapt from pole to pole, probably you would be able to do it. It'd be kind of a high DC, but not terribly high. So you're capable of crossing if you need to. The ability, I just want to make sure that you understand that the ability is there.
Future. Okay.
So
Yes, and
I
then-
won't go, but
Ardrin and Iskra are going back.
Yes.
Iskra, Ardrin, and me are all 3 going. Yes.
I'm gonna
Because
give
you're showing them the way.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to give the spies mirror to Sonder.
Don't need.
Well,
Yeah,
just
we
in
don't need
case.
them.
Just in case.
Fair.
Because I'm right
Okay.
next to her, so we both shouldn't have the only ones.
Soul,
And you
are you
said-
wanting to stay or go?
If you guys want, what I could do is I could summon maybe some bird types to keep a lookout for you all, and I could tell them if they see anyone else approaching, they can make bird noises to alert you.
That sounds fine to me.
That
it's pretty silent
that
out there,
sounds
so
pretty.
yeah.
And they don't disappear if they're too far from you, do they?
I don't think it says that anywhere on the.
I don't.
You can
On
send
your
it
I don't
out,
believe
It's
so.
okay.
No.
Just watch out, 'cause I'm
Okay.
gonna go hunting for food for us because we have not ate in a while.
You're gonna hit them
Um,
with the arrow, and they're just gonna go poof.
I'm gonna
Sonder.
grab it.
No, I think that is a wonderful idea, Sol.
Sonder.
Hey.
You saw the location. Gonna hand you the feather duster. Iskra and Arjun can write it. It'll carry them. You just have to name the location, and it takes them to a place that you've seen since you were there on it.
Okay.
Well, that's why I'm sending Oreo. She knows the way too.
I'm going one way or the other.
It works.
That way you don't have to like carry someone.
Yeah, we'll prep that. That works.
If y'all are okay with writing.
Side saddle.
At this point, we've got plenty. They could both be riding on.
Yeah, they could just write
I'm
Oreo.
Trying to make
and
it so
them
that
two
way
go.
not as many people have to go and do stealth and get caught.
Both can ride the feather duster. It'll be 30 feet. It'll be like less because it's over 200 pounds or something.
Oreo
And
can
Which is
go
it
fine.
can go
20
to a
max.
location that you name within a mile, so they can head there.
Yeah.
We can stay here. Renan can go on his own and be stealthy without having to carry someone.
I think all things considered, if there's just two of us going and Renan staying behind, I think we should take Oreo with us.
Then you two on the feather duster and Oreo.
I was still planning on.
Yeah, I think Renan was going regardless.
You were just saying you were set going that way. I was trying to make it so that because I knew you were just stubborn and going, so that you don't have to carry someone and be like disadvantaged on stealth.
Basically,
keeping his
the
arms free
choice
would
boils
be-
down to: is it going to be Oreo or the feather duster?
It doesn't matter.
Cast your vote. It doesn't.
Oreo
So
and the feather duster, and then Renan has his arms free, and
There you
Giant.
go. Alrighty.
what would you
Cool.
prefer?
Here we go.
Would you
Um,
prefer giant bats or giant owls to
Giant nothing.
Yeah.
Are
Why-
you
why-
able
why
to
draw
summon
attention?
more? Are you able to summon more if they're smaller?
So out of character, technically, the giant bats and giant owls are challenge rating of 1-4, which I can do 8 of those. So
Birds.
anything less than that, I can do 8.
Like a bird. Like a bird.
Yeah, I
bird.
would say if you can do just regular hawks, in that
Okay.
case.
Wait.
Yeah.
What's a natural bird that we've seen in the area?
Not many
Vultures.
at all.
Yeah, really not.
Yeah, we really haven't found any living.
It's the area that
They're
we're
gonna
in.
stand out a little bit, but
Yeah.
having hawks is better than having giant hawks. As far as if somebody looks
I don't know.
up,
How about a giant hawk?
I mean, I
Okay.
can do owls and bats too. What's the darkness like in this area?
dark. Well,
Like-
you just heard that it's dark wherever they are going.
Mhm.
actually go with the bat because it fits the vibe.
And the
know-
Well, it's morning now.
echolocation.
Yeah, it's daylight, so that's why I'm like just not send a bunch of things because it's broad daylight while they're going.
And Oreo can stealth it.
And besides,
Right.
Iskra's silent. Arjun can teleport. Renan knows what to do. Like they don't need. They're. I can trust them to
I
like
think
stay
we're
quiet.
good on creatures.
Yeah.
Maybe when
Just-
we all go at the end, like when we need, or if
When
there
we
is
need
trouble
to
around.
summon all the shit you need.
When shit's
But
hit
the
the fan.
cultist got it.
So I would say, honestly, I would say something bigger and more powerful if you can.
Yeah, if
I
you
think
can
it's
summon something large,
Cultist.
well, not even for the flying part, but if you can summon something large, then it could help with working on the bridge.
Yeah.
There's that.
All right, focus on the task at hand.
Yeah. You two and Feather Duster.
Let them go.
It's sent on the
and
way.
Check it out.
Renan's going by himself. Wait, and then so those three, let's slap the Feather Duster.
Them three, Oreo, go. Take care.
Okay. Renan, Arjun, and Iskra.
And then I plump down and I cast Arcane Eye and it follows them.
Okay. You guys fly off towards the forest, crossing the bridge, or the river, I should say. Flying over the water, and now that it's daylight, you can see that the murky green water has these like streaks of black in it as you fly across. Going into the forest, you see that the forest is more alive than the forest that you had left behind. There is maybe one or two of the petrified trees that are hanging around, but there's not much. Going deeper into the forest, it does get darker as the light is subdued from above. But about the point where the description, well, actually, Renan, you would know from the point where the darkness really got thick. There is a dense fog. Very, very dense fog. And the further in you go, the harder it is to see. But you still know the way. You still manage to follow the path. 3/4 of the mile in, Arjun, Iskra, you begin to see the changes in environment that had been described. The strange rock formations, the strange barnacles that seem to come out of the ground or form on rocks. The way the brush and grass look dried as if all of the moisture and life had been sucked from them. And once the fog is thickest, where you think you can't see much more than like 10 feet in front of you, the trees on either side give way. And you find yourself in what you imagine a fog clearing. Renan, you know this is where you were at, and you bring them down to the ground.
I bring them down to the ground and then how far ahead can we see through the fog?
Probably
Or is
like,
it like
10,
pea
12
soup?
feet. It's pea soup.
Okay.
It's really thick.
So I'll walk up until I can see the edge of the drop off and say, there's the pit.
Okay.
Try and creep up to that.
Yep. Creeping up to the edges of the pit, you find the pathway that leads down and around as it starts to curve down along the edges of this pit. Both Arjun and Iskra, make perception checks for me, if you will.
Me too.
Oh yeah, you are following the eye. Yeah. Go ahead. What are you gonna say, Graham?
Because this is, you said there was some magical darkness. Is that being mitigated by?
It seems
Is
like
that
it's
fog now?
It is a fog now instead of extra thick darkness.
Fair enough.
Now that
'Cause
the
the sun
daylight
has
has
come
come
up? Yeah.
it has shifted.
So, do I know if Oreo understands from other people other language or any particular language?
Seems to.
Okay.
She seems to
And
know all the languages I do.
Bullshit.
Common and
So-
bad common.
I will look at Oreo and ask in Celestial,
She would know that one.
can you stay up here? And if you happen to notice something having gone wrong, fly back.
She
And
nods. Sits like a kind of like a sphinx kind of thing and just kind of looks, keeps a very vigilant eye.
and I will proceed down with the others.
Iskra.
Yeah, what's up?
This place feels strange.
Yeah, it kind of gives me the creeps, but you mean like more than that?
I can't really describe the way I see, but it feels displaced.
As you guys walk further down, you get the same, Arjun and Iskra, you get that same feeling as you're walking down the edges of the path. You can tell that this is a well-traveled. You can see the grooves where the carts or wagons are dragged. And you can see that the wall of stone that starts to go all the way around as you guys go further and further down begins to look more alien. There is like this smoothness to it as if it's been almost carved, but almost like formed or melted, smoothed over, like you've seen like mortar whenever they do this smooth mortarness to it. It doesn't seem natural. It just seems segmented. You can see it like reaches a divot point where it kind of goes in like this in the walls, just almost like pieces have been stuck up, but it's smooth and looks stone-like. And even if you were to take your fingers and run your hand along it, it feels
Which I would do.
yeah, it feels like stone. And for Iskra, there's a little bit of familiarity to it in the sense of the Simic Combine and their use of organic materials in interesting and creative ways. This looks like something that they would definitely have loved the aesthetic of. And as soon as your head has reached a certain point past the lip of the pit, the fog clears up. And you can see straight to the bottom and the entirety of the pit. Same for you, Kindred, the little arcane eye, which is visible, right?
Yes, it's like a little oh, actually no. I create an invisible magical eye within range, but I see in 360 degrees.
Okay. So you get the same experience. We'll say that you're keeping this eye kind of close to them so you don't lose the way.
Listen.
But you too see that this fog, this thick fog, just completely clears away once you reach a certain point. And so then Ardrin and Iskra and Renan, you guys can see the full extent of the pit as if it was daylight now. The light from above that you would normally have in the forest minus the fog is lit up this entire area, and you definitely see the details that Sonder had put into the drawing are no artist's interpretation. This is very much looks like 6 pointed, almost claw-like fingers, if you would, carapace that like stretch towards a center point. The ring, the band around the outer edge of black sand. The completely smooth platform.
Looking at Iskra as we're going down, I will state, as far as what we are, I feel that this place may be of more importance to us than some other factions. And then kind of continue.
Just to everybody. Well, if this is what it is, it certainly looks the part. Definitely a dramatic flair.
Interesting side note, I just realized. The spell says, I mentally receive visual information from the eye. I don't hear. But because I can read lips, I do know what people are saying.
As long as they're facing you, yes.
I see it. Well, yeah, but I see in 360 degrees, so that helps.
If their back, if their back was to you, is what I meant. But yes.
But they don't know that because I'm invisible. No.
You're the only one who likes to keep secrets here, Kindred. No, but all right.
So does Max.
So,
while they're gone, I'm slitting Max's throat.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The fuck?
Renan, make a perception check for me.
Visual?
Yes. Ardrin and Iskra, what are you guys doing once you reach the bottom?
How far did they go in terms of when they were in here?
Everywhere.
So they were like traipsing all over the damn thing, like a jungle gym.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm not see her Saunders footprint.
I'm just going to be taking, using minor illusion there to continuously craft and update a 3D model of absolutely everything.
Okay. 20 total? Renan? Okay.
No, natural 20 for a 28.
All right, cool. Iskra,
That's my first natural 20 of the night.
what are you doing once you go down and around there?
Just trying to understand the alien nature of the place a bit more.
Okay.
Since it feels a little bit familiar to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to understand the type of people who would have built something like this, or was it built? Was it found? Right? Is this a place that I get the impression, I think, based on what everybody is saying, that the Thayans found this and have repurposed it rather than it being something that they did themselves.
Okay.
According to the text from the ancient Sumerians, what we do know is that
Okay. Arjun, you like start looking around at some of these fingered protrusions and the mass of them and how they all just. There is such an element of perfect symmetry and creation to all of this, but at the same time, nothing looks constructed as much as it looks like it's just had once been parts of creatures. And that had just been placed into these sections.
Get bashed. Great.
Iskra looking about. There is a very organic nature to these walls. As much as they are stone, they definitely feel just on the outside of being of some biological sense. And for the briefest of moments, you feel like you see something move just on the other side, and you're not sure if it's a figment of your imagination or just it reminds you of like the pulse of blood underneath the carapace. It's just like this movement, and it's something that makes you kind of like looks like the shadow, because there's still shadow coming from the branches above, right? So you kind of look up to see if there's anything in the branches that could have caused it, but it's kind of hard to tell if it was something in the trees that shifted, the wind, but there's something that almost seemed like it moved below the surface of on the other side of this rock wall, right? And it kind of just feels a little unsettling. Renan, you have the distinct memory of Sonder having thrown something, a barnacle, onto the platform, and it having shattered and laid there. There is no barnacle on this platform. It is completely clean and cleared.
To everyone, out of the shookethness of that realization, because originally I would have just said it to Sonder, but to everyone, Sonder, the barnacle, or whatever that thing was you threw onto the platform, it's not there anymore.
Sonder, you
Muted.
Would I be able to respond?
It's telepathic bond, so yes.
Maybe it teleported out. Try it again.
Perhaps. I can certainly give it a try. So I'll walk over and break off another piece of one of the barnacles.
Be careful in case there are people or things there.
I'm gonna pay attention to the barnacle when I break it off, so I know nothing's gonna jump out of it and try to grab me. But I'm gonna break off
Do you want face huggers? Because this is how you get face huggers.
Prometheus.
Exactly what I was thinking about.
You break off a piece of this barnacle and it crumbles into your hand a little bit as you take it off from the wall and you toss it into the center of the platform.
Mm-hmm.
It does
Or
the same
kind of-
thing.
I'm gonna kind of scatter. If it kind of partially crumbled, I'm gonna scatter it across the platform.
Okay. You scatter it. And the little pieces kind of echo, and it makes that weird echoing chamber sound that kind of, even though everybody's aware of each other, it kind of still is louder and more startling than you realize due to the silence that is just kind of pervasive in this area. But nothing
I
happens
don't
to
hear
it.
anything. No.
Yeah.
I suppose if we come back tomorrow to find that it is gone again, we know that it either teleported or something moved it. I wonder if it activated because Kindred made the sand make a sigil, even from so far away. Or was it Kindred? I think it was Kindred, right?
Yeah.
Kindred, do you think you can make the sigil again? With what
Well,
you
it's-
have there?
Back up a smidge before we do anything like that.
All right.
And maybe I'm just paranoid, but I did think I saw movement, like from the
Where?
walls itself, like it was alive.
There's an oddness to the makeup of this place. It doesn't match with anything that I have ever seen before.
Now that I'm physically here, does it look any more familiar? Is any particular?
It still has that almost illithid looking structure to it, but it's got other things that don't fit that profile.
It's just the idea that it's still very.
thoughts.
I was
I'll
just say, like
ask-
it's still very alien. Just every alien.
I'll ask Iskra to point to where she thought she saw the movement.
I kind of motion off to the side there.
I just kind of go in that general area and like just would do a more thorough like look at the walls or like look
Yeah.
to see.
You stare at the wall and you see the shifting shadow of the branches above. You wait and stare, and you stare.
Stop and stare.
I'm gonna follow the scrying orb over there.
It's invisible. Unless you Tet,
okay.
right?
Oh, Mia Tet's kind of looking that direction too, so you gotta,
Yeah, so,
you gotta
like-
go over there.
Yeah.
All right, sure.
You look over there both closely, and hand touches the stone wall, and it feels so smooth. It's like the shell of a crab or some sort of crustacean, but it also has that porousy nature of stone to it. This is beyond bizarre. Back in the caravan, miles from where you guys are at now,
Is this self-think fucker gonna do some shit?
the knoll that has been traveling with you goes up to Liao.
Not that I don't appreciate your reasons for staying put, but I'm going to continue my journey to Pirados if you don't mind.
Sure, by all means. It was a pleasure having you for company.
Thank you, sir.
He gets up on the sailfang and starts to trot out of the caravan's bunch, and you can see everyone there is gathered together and kind of getting anxious and nervous and wondering when they're going to hear back. Gabriel sits and watches the man leave, the gnoll leave. Wrapping his fingers on the ground beside him. He feels a surge in the voice inside of his head. And he stares out into the distance for a minute. Yes?
Oh shit.
That one worries me.
Should we do something?
Yes.
Pursue him. Or perhaps find the location of my second student. I think he may need us.
The mixture of faces, the expressions across his face go from like curiosity to distrust to resignation. As you wish. He gets up
What are you getting?
and gathers his stuff. Excuse me, caravan master. I think I'm gonna go as well. If that's all right. I'm not a prisoner, am I? No. You're free to do what you will. All right. His smile, the moment he turns his back to Liao, fades completely. Your will be done, mistress. And he walks, following the stranger. And that is where we are going to end for tonight.
I like to imagine you just push a button on a clock and it just starts a timer. Oh my god.
Right.
So many forces in play. And y'all didn't do a thing I wanted to do. No.
All the moving parts.
Well, we wouldn't know about them because you keep it all a secret.
So I told y'all all my plans to get us there most efficiently.
All right. Well,
To be fair, we also said that we were going to make contact with the correct people.
all right. So, well, that was interesting.
Oh my god.
Yo, you found something. What is this something that you have found? Why do I sound like Jerry Seinfeld? I don't know. What is this thing? What is happening?
Considering that they're using an AI to make Twitch Seinfeld episodes that's been playing nonstop for like a week, this feels like
I've
it's
seen
on-
it. I've seen it.
Oh
There
no.
was a recent development with that.
Because
that
you're
got
gonna
it
see
shut down.
Strawberry Breaking.
All right. Well, we will see you next week for another exciting episode of Game of Santos as we see
Try to figure out how to send people flying.
see what all the hubbub is about. I mean, I'm sure it's completely fine. The hoopla, if you will. But in the meantime, stay fey, be brave, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Hey, bye.
It was nice knowing y'all.